Peace, folks. This is X from TPOT Media. Open your mind and wake your black ass up. You know what time it is. Hit that damn like button as you make your way in the door. Grab a seat, settle in, get ready. It's the Grown Man Hour with your host, my man, Bernard Riley.
Something special happened today. I got green lights all the way, with no big red sign to stop me, no traffic jam delay. See, I was driving over the moon in my big hot air balloon, floating high into the darkness. I hope I get there soon. There's so many things to do, so many people I need to talk to, and they've all been waiting for me. Well, I gotta make it through. Something special happened today. I got green lights all the way, with no big red sign to stop me, no traffic jam delay. Thank my stars for every green. You have no idea what it means. No, no. To a man who's always traveling, who's seen the things that I've seen. I don't know what's yet to come. Not sure of anything that I've done really makes that much difference. Well, I hope it has for some. Something special happened today. I got green lights all the way, with no big red sign to stop me, no traffic jam delay. Well, I was driving over the moon in my big hot air balloon, floating high up in the darkness. I promise that I'll make it to you very soon. Something special happened today.
What's up, good people? What's up? We back in the building. Back at it again. What's going on? I'd like to welcome everybody to the show. Welcome to the Grown Man Hour with Bernard Riley. It sounds funny every time I say it, but I like saying it, so I'm gonna say it more often. But what's up, everybody? I'm glad we're back. Glad we're in the building. Had a busy, eventful morning that I'm not even going to talk about. But I almost didn't come on, but I had to do it. Said I'm not missing no more days. One thing that I didn't do, oh, that ain't got nothing to do with the show. One thing I didn't do, I forgot to shout out Caesar D1. I had to do that. I haven't seen him in the chat, but Caesar D1 has a routine of, I think he dropped large lump sums of cash apps on damn near all the content creators all at one time. He did it over the weekend. I believe that was Sunday night. I don't know when he did it, but I know I received a nice nice contribution from Caesar D1. So shout out to him. If you're listening, say something in the chat. I want to give a formal thank you to that for not just me, but all the content creators who you definitely show support to. You definitely, guys like you are, like I say all the time, the heartbeat of the space. Even those of you who don't got it like that, because everybody ain't got it like that, but people that just come through, watch the videos, hit the like button, appreciate all your brothers. Rather you dropping, shout out to Reg the bad guy, $1, $2, $3. Yeah, look at that zombie run by that motherfucker. Reg funny as fuck without trying. But shout out to everybody that support the space in any way that you do it, whether it's with your coins, your pennies, or just your support. Just coming in here, commenting, liking, participating in the show. Appreciate all of you. Salute to everybody. Real shit. Gotta show the love, because y'all give a lot of love back. So salute and shout out to all of you good brothers, good people, good men and women, brothers and sisters in the building. Young Peasy says black women are behind 100%. Don't be fooled, brothers. They'll railroad you in a minute. Thank you for your comment. Azrael 6394 says Jamele Hill look like Kermit first cousin. Don't at me. She do got a little Kermit the Frog in her. She do. She look like yeah. Look like Kermit the Frog's illegitimate niece or some shit. Something going on there. Anyway, all right. Facts Young Peasy. Shout out to Ezra once again. Zero in the building says she needs to dismantle an instruction manual on an exercise bike. Now that was not very nice. You don't got something nice to say, don't say anything at all. Like your mother taught you, don't be teasing people that look like Kermit the Frog. That's not nice. Look like Kermit the Frog and built like Miss Piggy. Do not tease her. Bernard, you got to do a show on Ice Cube interview with the Cocktail Queens, or as Obsidian calls them, 4 washed up divas. And shout out to Obsidian who went live on YouTube. I missed it. I was I think working on a house. I came home, laid down, and saw a stream. Well, I mean, it was already off the air, so I'm thinking he just uploaded something. I'm like, oh, he was on Mixler today, or he just uploaded something pre-recorded. And I started listening. I was like, whoa, this was live. So shout out to Obsidian for that. I'm late with the acknowledgement, but yeah, Obsidian went live on YouTube. So that's an interesting development. I finally I got a chance to listen to the whole thing. I think he's doing things a little different. So it should be interesting. It should be interesting. I think it's a good move for him. I think it's a good move for him. Ilonga Savage, he says, liked and loaded. Let's get it. We got 95 people in here, almost at 100. Y'all hit the like button, and I beat y'all to the punch. I was the first like today. As soon as it opened up, I hit the like button. So y'all make sure y'all hitting that like button too. He says this should be a good one. Salute Bernard in chat. Shout out to the Alchemist Prodigy. I think that's how yeah. Interesting. Pace Flow in here. I think that's what some Canadian money says. Salute Bernard. Salute to you. Thanks for the super chat. I appreciate that. Let me work my way on down the list because I saw some other contributors. Shout out to everybody whose name I skipped over. I see people in here. I see Melody in there dropping the link. Says, please like the stream. Feminist tears. That picture is hilarious. That picture don't stop being funny. See Third Ward, see Dark Knight Mentality. I'm just scanning the list. Sorry if I forgot you. Trying to make it down to the super chats. He says something on the Crown Vanilla. Ooh, I fuck with Crown Vanilla. I really do. I like Crown Vanilla. I can cut back on my morning drinking if y'all haven't noticed. Now, if I do a marathon and it get late into the afternoon, I'm gonna have a shot or two. But I've been on the coffee lately. Had to cut down on the morning drinking. What the fuck? She said, my mom said you're handsome. How old is your mama? Email me a picture of it. Oh shit. You know how niggas do. The nigga shoot his shot at the daughter, get rejected, start working his way up the line to the mama. The mama can't get with the mama. Okay, let me see what Granny look like. Let me see what Granny look like. But no, tell your mama I said thank you. Tell your mama I said thank you. Don't email me no pictures of your mama. I'm good. I'm good. Don't do it. Let me thank the super chat so I can get on with the show. Y'all got me on some fuckery. Consular Murray, once again, thank you for the super chat. Ray Clemens in the building. He says, good morning, homie. Shout out to Ray Clemens. Appreciate the super chat. Oh, man. Y'all got me clowning already. Good morning to the grown man hour. This show should be a good one. I think it will. I think it will. I think it will. He says Bernard is attractive to the grannies. Yeah, bring it on. I found out about the term granny chaser live on my show. That's the thing, because damn, who was that said he was attracted to not the mom on Blackish, but the grandmama on Blackish? I thought he was talking about Tracy Ellis Ross, but y'all know the black woman that played everybody mama in every black movie that was ever made in the like late 80s, 90s, and 2000s. I can't think of her name, but I pulled up a picture of her. Somebody said they was feeling her. My man Bernard looked like Marcellus Wiley. Nah, I ain't never heard that one. I know what he looked like, but I'm gonna pull up another picture of him just to see how bad you're tripping. You might be onto something. I don't know. I don't know with that one. Yeah, let's see. I bet Third Ward get at them grannies. Third Ward to pull down them big ass white bloomers. Them big droopy ass draws they still. You'll move them droopy granny panties to the side, won't you, Third Ward? I know you will. You Third Ward ain't playing around with them. on fucking no granny a whop. Nah, man. Nah. Okay, let me just. The oldest I messed with was 46. So there's that. Now, for what it's worth, and it's kind of immature that she would lie. She lied and said she was 35. I think I was 33, 34. She said she was 35 because she looked 35. She looked in her mid-30s. So there's that. She looked in her mid-30s, but she came clean and said she was 46 after I had already, but, I wouldn't have cared either way. I mean, I didn't want to say this because this space, people will run wild with shit, but I literally, the youngest, I did mess with an 18-year-old. Now somebody gonna run with that, but she was a legal adult. She was in college. I did mess with an 18-year-old very briefly. So the youngest I messed with in my 30s was 18. The oldest I messed with in my early 30s was 46. So you see, I have a wide range. I don't have a narrow taste in women. Very wide range. I've said before I was messing with a chick that was 6'1". I mean, I'm 6'1", and I used to have to stretch my neck out to be the same height as her. She might have been 6'1.5", maybe 6'2". Because whenever me and her stood up, I felt like I was really stretching all the way out just to be as tall as her. She was taller than me, and I'm 6'1". So I messed with a chick that was over 6'1", and the same time while I was messing with her, I was also messing with a 4'11" chick. So you can see the range. You could be 4'11" or 6'2". You could be recently grown or oldest, so I didn't have preference requirements like that. If I found you attractive, I found you attractive. LAR is in the building. What's going on, LAR? Why you got somebody running? Don't act like you ain't. Don't act like you ain't put a granny on the mattress. You ain't put a granny on the mat before. All it take to bang a grandmama is she had a baby at 18, and her baby had a baby at 18. She's 36. Y'all the same age. Quit fronting. Y'all done smashed a granny or two. Uh-oh. Melody says she messed with a 51-year-old, and I was barely 20. God damn. All right. Cool. That's what's up. I guess. Yeah. That's what you're into. Get it popping. Get it popping. Osama Abdu. Shout out to Bernard and the rest of the chat. By the way, show with the conservative bros a few days ago was great. No arguments, just rational. Keep it up, BR. I'm working on that. I'm trying to keep the nigga shit to a bare minimum. I'm really working on that. I had too many times where I would bring somebody on for a one-on-one, and I like that the panel wants to come up and challenge, but it was too many times where people was just coming up just to attack that person or push their own agenda. It was just getting out of control to where the conversations weren't really going. So, with some people, especially if I feel somebody has expertise in a particular area, like, for example, Counselor Murray, he got expertise in his area. If I feel you got expertise, I'm going to try to bring people on, come up, ask mostly questions. You can give your thoughts on it, but you ain't about to just come in and just, that coming in, flipping the table over shit. But I do like spirited debate. I do like when O'Shea was doing the Sunday Rumble, how it was good spirited debate. Then eventually it devolved into just nigga shit. But it was a moment where the Sunday Rumbles was really about good spirited debate, but it was on the topic, and it wasn't really just nobody was really being attacked. It was a brief moment where I felt like he was really doing it right, and then it got out of control after a while. So so he eventually shut it down. So in the spirit of that, I do want to have panels where people come up and have a lead off. I think that was a good format what he had going on. Have a lead off, somebody who has hopefully some expertise in a particular area, and they come in and they give their expertise, they fully lay out their argument, and people can come up and counter argue. But sometimes questions is the right way to go. So we're gonna work on that. We're gonna refine that. This isn't quite a fine-tuned fine-oiled machine yet, but we're working on it. We're gonna try to we're gonna try to definitely get there. Definitely get there. We sharpening the tools over here. So shout out to Osama Abdu. I think that was a great show, though. By the way, they did put on a great show. The general in the building. What's going on? Right, no judgment here, Melody. No, that's for real shit. No judgment. You should have got him put a ring on it. Should have fleeced his ass. If you was over there at the Finessa nigga network, you'd have got a ring up out of that, and then you've been cooking them bad, unhealthy food, and learn how to just drive. Learn how to get the ring from a 50-year-old man with money, then they teaching you how to drive them to an early death. That's what they teaching over there at the Fleeca nigga network. Yeah, you weren't supposed to let that get away, Melody. That's what they teaching them at the I forgot her name. What's the chick name? something 7. Don't even type it in the chat. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Well, they over there. I remember I listened to one of her streams, and a chick was like, I'm gonna get into the topic real soon, but a chick was like, okay, I found this man. He got a lot of money. He gave me a ring. He wants to marry me, but he wants me to sign a prenup. What do I do? She was like, okay, yeah, sign the prenup, get married, and then Google how to get out of a prenup. Like it's literally not even a you know, it's not even a in theory. Just I'm okay with women having discussions about how to become wives if the goal is to stay a wife and be a good mother to those children and have a good family. If that's the goal, I have no problem with that. But if they're talking about how to become a wife just to not be a wife as soon as possible, or just to sometimes she literally said in that same stream, she was like, she teach women how to get the bag, then leave with a bag, or stay with that bag if that's the most beneficial thing. But while you're there, start, I forgot, how did she word that? It was some hold on, I see a super chat coming. It was a get the bag and then leave with a bag. It was something like that. How to get the bag and leave with a bag. But she was talking about how, sometimes it might be best to stay with that bag, but either way, the goal is to leave with a bag so you can be in position to go and get your own bag. That was, she was using it like it was a like it was some investment plan or something. Got to invest, you got to do this, you got to take these incremental steps, and then you'll be able to leave with a bag. And then now that you got the money, now you can do what you really wanted to do with your life. It was weird. It was weird. You said he lied about his age. I didn't know dudes really did that, and I don't think he really had to. I don't know. Maybe he did. Maybe at 20 or whatever, you said you was barely 20, so 19, you would have saw 50 and just been like, oh no, hell no. But then 40 was okay. I mean, I figure 40 is okay, 50 is okay. That's interesting. I didn't know dudes did that. I've had women lie about their age. It was one chick who, here I go outing myself again. It was 2 women that was under 20 that I messed with. Yeah, just 2. One of them lied and said she was 20. Actually, the one that I said was 18, she said that she was 19 at first. I thought only women did that. And then when you meet an older chick, they lie and try to say that they're younger. That's a normal thing, common thing for women to do. You ever wonder? Almost missed that super chat. But thanks for that super chat, Melody. I appreciate it. Jamele Hill, old fish face. She's still alive. Come on. She ain't old like that. I mean, somebody her age saying she trying to find a sugar daddy. Okay, she old for that. But she ain't old for the earth. I mean, so yeah, she's still alive. She ain't old. She probably, she probably my age. I'm 38. She might be, I don't know. I mean, I give her 40 at the most. 40, 41, 42. But she could be in her late 30s. Who knows? Before I get into the topic, since we just kind of got prompted with this one, y'all ever truly wonder why is that a thing? A woman never tells her age. I used to wonder that, and I guess it kind of makes more sense now when I look at things from the perspective, is okay. One reason why they may not want to tell their age, and this is me, giving them the benefit of the doubt. They know that men are, we hear a lot in this space. men who are talking about, getting married, when men are talking about that, it's typically to younger women. So a woman, no one in understanding that she's gotten older, she don't want to be just going around saying her age, because she's going to turn herself off from potential partners, who may want to marry her. But it can't get to the point of marrying a man and he not actually know your age. So maybe they're thinking, maybe if he just gets to know me and he won't care that I'm 35 and real close to the area of having a high risk pregnancy, or in the high risk pregnancy um zone or whatever. But there's another aspect or element to that, and what I just used to naturally think, because I still used to always think, and to some degree still think, for the most part in the real world, the average, 40-year-old guy, he don't mind getting with a woman that's, 30 in that 35 range. That's online we talk shit like 18 to 25. I mean, get out of here. They 18 to 24 or whatever it is. That those are online talking points. For the most part, middle-aged men don't mind dealing with middle-aged women. Now, if you get to the point to where you middle-aged, or you 30 or you 40 or whatever, and you just banking like that, you got money like that, you in a whole nother realm. You 40 and you make $300,000 a year. Okay, you balling in a different league. But for the most part, a guy normally ends up with a woman around his age. That's just a reality. But I always felt like when women didn't want to say their age once they got over 30, I just felt like that was only because they still wanted to occasionally get some, random dick from some guy in his early 20s. They didn't want to shut off that market, so to speak. I always felt like that's what it was. I have a different perspective on that now, where now I feel like they could be thinking, about the marriage prospects and all of that stuff. But I used to think, man, the only reason a chick that's in the mid 30s do not want to tell her age, because if some young, some young dude in his early 20s thinks that she could pass for 27, and he want to give her some dick, because she ain't gonna marry him, but she don't want to cut off the she don't want to cut off the young dick. That's what I felt like. That's why I felt like they were that's why women lie about their age. There's really it's no real reason why they need to do it. Like it's just a known fact. Like, women over 30 do not tell their age. They won't tell it. I'm 34. Youngest I'll go is like an intelligent 24-year-old. Okay, go on with your bad self. I mean, hey, this, it is what it is. And I can see somebody who, I don't know. I listen. If I find you attractive, I find you attractive. I ain't tripping. But go hit on. See what Black Falcon or Falcon Black saying, to be over 30 and single, laughing my ass off. Okay, so that's a thing when they're not married and they over 30. Okay, that could be a reason why too. It's probably not just that they don't want to shut off the possibility of random sex with with 22-year-old guys. Okay. They probably just understand that they're walking around over 30 and single, and it's a bad look. So that's why they lie. That's why they don't want to tell their age. Okay, fine. That could be it. Oh shit, here he comes. I knew I was gonna bring him out. I knew it. I was up here speaking blasphemy, saying ain't nothing wrong with a 35-year-old woman. If she look good, she look good. That was blasphemy. That was blasphemy. Marco Grande came out the woodwork like, fuck that. Thanks for the super chat. I appreciate that, though. He says 18 to 24, usable life after 25, cooch is worthless. You heard it from Marco Grande. The law, he hit the gavel. The law has been laid down, and that is what it is. All right, moving forward. And Bush in the building. He says, if you met a fine vampire that was 900 years old, would that matter? Men don't really care if they look good. The vampire part is up for debate. I don't know about no 900-year-old vampire pussy, but True Blood was my show. And it were people, smashing some 900-year-old vampire cooch. So there's that. God damn it, I want to get into the show today. I want to do my topic thingy majiggy that I wanted to do. God damn it. Let me get on with it. There she blows. At least I think. Let's see. All right. Y'all probably see that on the screen. Hopefully I can see that on the screen. That's Jemele Hill. This is her I think this isn't exactly her Twitter page. That's some Twitter page called Baller Alert. So Baller Alert, the Twitter page, reposted her comment. If you can't see it, what it says right there, which you should be able to. Oh, damn, you could see it too good. Now you can't see it enough. That's more like it. She says, and I quote, I have increasingly found that many Black men just want better access to patriarchy. They don't actually want to dismantle it. I'm going to read that again because I want to truly process it. I have increasingly found out. So this is some new shit coming across the table. I have increasingly found out that many Black men just want better access to patriarchy. They don't actually want to dismantle it. Very good question put on the table. A very obvious question, but good question put on the table by Caveman Talk. He says, why would a man want patriarchy dismantled? Again, we just zeroed. Be nice, Zero. Be nice. Jamele Hill's a nice young lady. You probably like her if you got to know her. But here we go. I was planning on doing a review on the movie Antebellum because I observed something. It's so much to review in that movie, by the way. So I still might do it. But Janelle Monáe played a character who I'm not even going to give away that much of the movie. The character in modern times. That's how I'll say it. Don't spoil the movie. Don't spoil the movie if you've seen it. Because if you spoil it, the only thing that's good about the movie is ruined. Don't spoil, because I'm dancing around the part that's easy to spoil. So don't spoil it, because if you spoil that, then the only thing that's good about the movie that makes you say is going to be ruined. So don't spoil it. But the modern day, when she was in modern day times, as I believe a book author, giving a speech, talking to a crowd of about it was about 90% Black women. She was saying there was a theme in the movie, and by the way, it was written and directed, or co-written and directed by a Black man and a white man. So these are two male feminists, by the way. they were, one of the themes in the movie was black women in their silence, because I don't know where they got it from that black women are silent, but they were saying that when she was giving a speech to a crowd about 90% black women, 10% black men, and said, we can't, she was saying something along the lines, I'm paraphrasing, hopefully not horribly, but she was saying something along the lines of, we cannot be silent in the face of patriarchy. Our silence, our voices is the biggest threat to patriarchy, the biggest threat to dismantling the patriarchy. And after she gave her speech, the 90%, the black women in the crowd, about 90 to 85% black women, about 10 to 15% black men, stood up and applauded at tearing down the patriarchy. So it was black men in the audience applauding about tearing down the patriarchy. And this was at least co-written and co-directed by a black man. And they were talking about dismantle. That was the first time, well, not the first time, but it was the imagery of her on stage talking about dismantling the patriarchy to a group of black women. They're like fighting to dismantle the patriarchy. And then I take that and I, fuse that in with this comment here with Jamele Hill saying, losing super chats. I got y'all. Where she's saying, and take that and fuse that in with her saying, I have increasingly found that many black men just want better access to patriarchy. They don't actually want to dismantle it. For anybody that say that we're just over alarmist in this space, here's a black woman with the following. A lot of people follow her. A lot of black women follow her. And they're expecting black men to be following them to the point to where their goal of dismantling patriarchy, and I'm going to get into what that even means to dismantle patriarchy. I'm going to get into that. I'm going to get into what that means. I found an article that explains what that means or what they mean by dismantling patriarchy. But they expect us to be following them and following their lead, and their issue is our issue, to the point to where even when their issue goes against essentially us, we are to still be following it. And she's shocked that she's shocked to find out that, wait a minute, y'all don't want to give us all the power? I found out most men want better access to putty. Silly putty. Yes, silly putty. Counselor Murray, how do you get provided for and protection without a patriarchy? Shaking my head. These are all really good questions. I mean, the questions write themselves. Like, this is like a third grader can just see what's wrong with this. A third grader can see what's wrong with this. Shout out to Counselor Murray and Mr. Shane Vicious for the super chats, and Ray Clemens just came through with another one at the bottom. He says, what does the comment say to the right? I'm curious. Oh, yeah. I'm glad you reminded me, because I do want to dig into the comments. That's exactly what I wanted to do. That's exactly what I wanted to do, and exactly what I am going to do. I'll do that now, actually, because it's good to look at the comments on this, because this website, Baller Alert, I mean, it's not website, this Instagram page called Baller Alert, you can see it right there. What they generally do, they post funny stuff, not necessarily political stuff, but newsworthy stuff that's kind of, headline catchy. They not exactly posting hard-hitting political shit. If Joe Biden or Trump do something that's kind of off the cuff or goofy, they post it. But then they also will post a lot of funny, shit, like this chick that look like she literally looked like Jay-Z. They posted like her talking on a video. They post whatever's entertaining, sort of centered around black people. Put it like that. Anything entertaining that black people might care about, but not just overall, not just slapstick humor, but you know, it's more thought out humor, but not thought out to me, but thought out nonetheless. All right, here we go. This is a black man saying, here we go again, accusing black men of not wanting nothing more than to have the access and power that comes with white male patriarchy when all else fails. Hashtag blame black men. This person who don't know if that's a male or a female, but I'm kind of leaning towards male. He says, my nigga, 98% of us don't know what the fuck that is. Just like a nigga. Anyway, oh, I like what this brother said. It's a lose-lose. Let me make sure y'all can see what's going on here with these comments. Hold on, I think I got a better way to get into the comments. Let's do like this. Wait, that's not a better way. I think this is the best way to do it. I thought if I clicked, I could. Okay, screw it. Okay, I like what this guy said. This brother said, here, let me highlighting. Look like an educated brother. Says ADOS101.com Black Agenda. Okay, yeah, you look like you're into some shit. Okay, cool, my nigga. All right. He says it's a lose-lose situation. First, people say black men need to step up and lead as men. Black men need to step up and lead as men. But when we do, other people say it's patriarchy or toxic masculinity. Damned if we do, damned if we don't. He knocked it out the park. And that's why I said it's good to visit, that's why I was pointing out what this website is actually about. Because not what the website is about, what his Instagram page is about, because it's not people who are just truly just knee deep into these type of conversations. So you're getting a raw response from regular folks, people that ain't a part of the black manosphere. But you can tell how the black manosphere is growing. Cube is evidence that our voices are being heard. Because like BGS pointed out, that Cube said a lot of stuff that's said here. A lot of stuff that's only said here. So we are doing something. We are doing something important here. Let me get back to these comments. See if I can make them a little bigger for y'all. I don't know if I can. Okay, here we go. Yeah, you're doing a little something right there. Okay. But yeah, he knocked it out the park with that comment. This chick said, just date a Spanish chick. They listen, don't tear down their men and divide their race by skin tone like black women. Uh-oh. Say we continue the good fight. This person says, I swear it feels like it. I love black women, but some of the black women in these comments giving Jamele Hill and Amen are suspect. Feels like we can't win for losing. So yeah, these brothers holding it down. These brothers are holding it down thus far, but it's gonna be some bullshit, trust me. This guy said, my monster unlocked. That's funny. He says, you see how these Caribbean immigrants, I didn't know she was Caribbean, come over here and cause division between black men and black women. You see how she's intentionally trying to mobilize a divide between us. You should be ashamed if you co-sign this. All women don't speak for all women. The comments are holding it down. Yes, exactly. That's why many of them will march with us to protest racism while promoting and basking in the sexism in the same breath. Okay, now check this out. Yeah, now this is a chick. Lady Longlegs. I talked about the 6'1", 6'2" ish chick I messed with. She had long legs, but that's another Another story. Says yes, exactly. So she's agreeing with the comment. In the original comment, just in case anybody has forgotten, Jamele Hill says, I have increasingly found that many black men just want better access to patriarchy. They don't actually want to dismantle it. And she says, yes, exactly. That's why many of them will march with us to protest racism while promoting and basking in sexism in the same breath. Okay, who can play that game? Many black women will march and protest racism and protest against the any social or political or legal harm that's coming against black men. Yeah, fist in the air and protest against that, and then we'll turn right around, leave that protest, and go and call the police for no damn reason on a black man. We'll leave that protest and go and put a good black dad who's trying to get more access to his kids. You would go in that courtroom and fight against that, and then you end up raising the son by yourself, and he fall into the same bullshit that you're protesting against black men falling into. So a black man protesting with black women for racial equality, but engaging in sexism is a small misdemeanor to the type of fuckery that y'all will go through with a decent brother who just want better access to his kids. No, you want every other weekend and Wednesday from 5 to 8 and child support from them. So you got to get out of here with that if you're going to generalize on that. Like no. Y'all take the cake on that one. Y'all take the cake on that one and putting the fist in the air and then going and doing something that's counterproductive to that fist being in the air. That black power that you say you want. The mere fact that you're supporting that feminist idea, the mere fact that you're supporting that feminist idea is showing that you essentially are against your men. So the thing that you're accusing right there, you're doing it now. The thing that you're accusing black men of doing, she's literally doing it right now. Black women want benefits of patriarchy without duties. Right on. And shout out to Mr. Shane Vicious once again. My man Gab Talk Media in the building. He says the white man male patriarchy is ending. Black man patriarch is rising. It's nature. Shout out to Bernard. Thank you very much, Gab Talk Media. Shout out to you. Appreciate the super chat. Appreciate you coming through. Trying to stroll down, looking at a comment or two. All right. Let me see. Let's get back at it. Let me do a quick clickety clack right there. All right. Back at it. I think this is another woman. I feel like a lot of black women love pointing out the flaws in black men just to make themselves, oh my goodness, to make themselves feel avenged from past heartbreak. She said it. Y'all just gonna attack black men all day, huh? All right, somebody's agreeing. This is true. As a black woman, I hate that we take up their causes without being asked or thanked just for them to shit on us the first opportunity that they get. Now they saying they take up our causes. When by taking up our causes, they mean showing up late to the party after, well, not late to the party, but showing up when a black man is killed by a cop. And that's what you mean by taking up our causes. That's the only cause that I could particularly see that they take up when it comes to that. Black people typically don't miss an opportunity to bitch about racism. So yeah, they do show up when a black man is killed by the police. I always talk about the data. I'm not excusing any cops killing black people, but I do take the time to point out the data that yes, black people are 13% of the population, make up 25% of the police shootings, 75% of the police shootings are of non-black people. I think 50% of the police shootings are of white people, or close to 50% of the police shootings are of white people. And the conviction rate is excruciatingly low when it comes to police shootings, regardless of who is shot. And I'm sorry, that 25%, that's not astronomical. We gotta acknowledge that yes, when a black man is shot by a white cop, it goes more viral than when a white man is shot by a white cop. I do look at that. I do bring that into the discussion. It is a factor in the equation. Even Mark Lamont Hill, when debating Candace Owens, he acknowledged that a lot of the shootings is overblown, and he started talking about, the stop and frisk or other areas of it that's out of pocket, which, yeah, some work needs to be done on that. So, yeah, some work needs to be done on that. I'm not convinced that, black women are taking up our issues like that. I think they get credit for it. We all know the deal with Black Lives Matter. We know what they are really about. They are about this whole dismantling the patriarchy talk. That's what they are really about. This whole talk of dismantling patriarchy. And that's what's going on here. And that's what these black women are agreeing with. And that's cool. I'll read this statement again for anybody who just came in. Jamele Hill, ESPN, I don't know if she still works for ESPN. I really don't know. She says, I've increasingly found that many black men just want better access to patriarchy. They don't want to actually dismantle it. So if you're talking about us taking up their cause, and taking up their cause would ultimately do us a bad service, depending on what they mean by dismantling patriarchy. And that sounded kind of some fuckery what they're defining as patriarchy. But no, a man shouldn't be saying that he does not want to be in a position of power. This goes back to I remember when Jordan Peters, Obsidian brings this up a lot. Jordan Peterson's initial interview where he asked the woman, "What kind of men do you want?" That's a good question right now. If you don't want patriarchal men, you don't want men, as a comment, as I said, you want men to step up, you want men to lead. Okay, so you want strong leaders, protectors, and providers, or do you want a little bitch, a little boy you got to carry around? You want that equal partnership. Oh, you will say in another breath that, yeah, you do expect a man to provide for you. You do expect a man to lead. You do expect all of those things. But you want him to fight for your causes, even at the expense of himself. And your causes are one, and then you go over to the side with your success, with your money, and probably the kid. Strong, independent, don't need no man, or he need to step up and get on your level after you fought for policies or benefits that will put you on a higher level than him, and then criticize him for not backing you being raised up to a level higher than him. No, he shouldn't want that. What he should want is for himself to be raised up, because we know when a man is raised up, we know when a man is elevated, a man has a good job, he's going to use that good job to take care of a woman. If a man is taking care of a woman, he's ultimately going to be taking care of their children. And that means that we're going to be more families together. And we know the outcomes of people that are born into actual intact families. But you don't want that. Why? Because it sounds too much like that patriarchy that you're fighting against. So you don't want that. You see how that works? Does a chance to still / be in the spotlight really equal taking up for? Good point. Good point. So I always said the same woman with her fist in the air. She would rather have the son of her, the father of her son, on every other weekend and paying her child support than she would rather have the son live with the father. She would rather have him on every other weekend and paying child support than to have that father, do a 1 week on, 1 week off split with her. She would rather have that. So now that little fist in the air for for blackness, it don't mean shit now. It don't mean a goddamn thing when your actions show it. We will see plenty of them. We'll go on their Facebook page and write a 15-page essay over Alton Sterling or some shit. When some black man gets shot by the police, write a 15-page essay about that on their Facebook page. But they care that much about black people, care that much about black men, but you out of pocket, combative, bitchy, disrespectful, acting in a way completely counterproductive to keeping a family together in your personal life. You'll go do all that, but you sit right there in court and fight and do whatever you can to limit access to a black man, limit a black man's access to his black children. So no, I don't buy I'm with you. I don't buy the whole idea that they're fighting or advocating for men. Paying lip service to a dead body. Not advocating for shit. Filing 80% of the divorces ain't advocating for shit. If they filing 80% of the divorces when their relationship goals bucket list is complete, we can almost assume that they're ending better than 80% of these relationships. If they're ending better than 80% of these relationships, when the family breaks up and when they say the father is not in the home, you got to look at the reasons why. I hate that they even looked at it like he just left the home, like he just floated off into space somewhere. No, he's still in a home. He's still in a home somewhere. The mother and the child is not in the home. We're not going to write him up or look at him as just some nomadic wanderer. No, if we're going to do that, then she's just some lost, wayward woman roaming around with a kid that we statistically know that she's ruining in many cases. Thanks, DJ Nat, for that super chat. Politically, we are two distinct constituencies. Black women have their own political infrastructure. They're not going to yield that capital / power to black men. And yeah, we're on two different playing fields. And it's showing because a lot of black men are seeing that the black women causes are not theirs. It's not ours. I just listened to I gotta check out Ice Cube. Well, Ice Cube been doing doing a lot of excuse me, doing a lot of interviews. I just saw him talking with Shannon Sharp, and he did mention how the contract with Black America is not perfect, and he said it probably do need to be some stuff in there for Black women. Now, if you go back and listen to a clip that BGS played, that he beat me to the punch because I wanted to do it over here. I probably still will talk about it. How he was on Roland Martin, and it was one of the, I believe that was one of the Black Lives Matters chicks on there. Yeah, she was from Black Lives Matter, and you could tell she was trying to commandeer his whole little contract with Black America thing. You could tell she wanted a piece of it. She wanna smuggle in her shit into it. And maybe they got to him, maybe they didn't. But Roland Martin was like, I'm gonna set both of y'all up so y'all can contact each other. I'm gonna give you her email and you his email. I'm like, okay. I was sitting there thinking, damn, the gynocracy has them. They got him. But think about that. I'm going to be talking about that some more when a relationship ends. If they're not married, the kids are hers by default unless the guy is smart. And when they're on the best possible terms, he goes and get custody, goes and, make sure he gets the paperwork right to where they're actually his kids. If you don't do that, then they're her kids. That relationship ends. It's two separate houses. We're not going to say the father left the home. No, she left the home. God damn it. She left the home and took the kids with her. We need more mothers. We need more women and children in the home. That's where that stuff come from, where they say that Black women are leading the majority of the households. Because it's more Black women than Black men, or are they defining it with the household got kids in it and women are leading it? Well, how the hell is it set up? Even if it's a marriage, the woman leaves with the kids. I mean, that happens in most marriages. It happened in my marriage, and I had to fight like hell, pay thousands of dollars to correct it. That's typically how it works. You got to fight like hell to get equality. And we're talking about fighting like hell to get that equality, and they're defining the patriarchy. And yep, that's what I'm going to get into. I'm going to get into how they're defining this patriarchy that they want to dismantle. We're about to get right into that. That's the next thing I got to pull up. Damn it. These comments was good, huh? We're going to scan a few more comments real quick. A lot of these Black women really just want to disrespect Black men. They don't have answers. They're not willing to have a respectable debate on issues. They just interested in tearing down Black men. I don't know what that TBH stand for. It's kind of corny. Okay, but please. Okay, but please, world, inform yourself about genocide. Get out of here. I'm not. I don't know, but I know either Tory Lion or Meg Lion. No in between. It's crazy how women really think they know men. All right, we'll call it right there on those comments. Somebody just brought fucking Tory and Meg into it. That's funny. That was funny. All right, let me work my magical Google powers real quick. Give me a minute. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Wait, before I do anything, I'm about to make sure we got the right definition of patriarchy before we look at what they're calling patriarchy. Patriarchy, a system of society or government in which the father or eldest male is head of the family and descent is traced through the male line. A system of society or government in which men hold the power and women are largely excluded from it. Are women largely excluded from this? I think in the US, 23% of politicians are women. I actually saw a video that said that coming up when I was getting ready for this show. I watched a video where it said 23% of women are politicians in this country. Not 23% of women are politicians, but 23% of the politicians are women. That doesn't sound like exclusion. It sounds like that's a field men are more likely to go into. That doesn't sound like outright exclusion. I'm going to read another definition. What is a form? What does a patriarchal society mean? A form of social organization in which the father is the supreme authority in the family clan or tribe and descent is reckoned in the male line, with the children belonging to the father's clan or tribe, a society, community, or country based on this social organization. These are actual definitions of patriarchy. What are examples of patriarchy? Let's make sure we get it right before we see what they call in patriarchy. Below are some examples of how patriarchy manifests institutionally and systemically. Okay, oh shit, here they go. Bathrooms are gender segregated in most buildings, forcing trans and gender. No, okay, here they go. See, this is this is the people ask section. So is I think they getting people answers and not actual answers because they said because I don't know how trans got worked into this question. What are examples of patriarchy? You see how they trying to promote something here? But let's see. Okay. I clicked on what are examples of patriarchy. And it says below are some examples of how patriarchy manifests institutionally, systemically. Bathrooms are gender segregated in most buildings, forcing trans and gender non-conforming people to choose which one to use and putting them at risk of harassment and violence. They're saying that's an example of patriarchy. You see how they define it? You see how the actual definition is talking about men being in a leadership role in the descent passing down through the male line. That's the actual definition. But the goofy ass definition that they want to dismantle is something else. I'm gonna give y'all a screen share in a little bit. I had another screen up. If somebody contributed, I probably missed it. I'm just trying to go up to see if I missed anything. Give me a minute. I'd like to thank everybody who in the building today. We got 344 people in here. Appreciate all the support, all the views, all the likes, all the shares, all the subscribes. Everybody, if you're new here, hit the subscribe button. Do content like this every morning. All right, just had to pull that up. I have no idea where we at on the likes. We got 343 people in here, 51 on the likes, 6 on the dislikes. Let's get the likes up, good people. Let's get the likes up. All right. I'm sorry about that confused face. I couldn't help it right there. I had to. All right. Let's see. All right. Here we go. Been dead air for too long. I'm trying to get it together. Trying to get it together for you. Here we go. All right. Got another screen share up on the screen. Yeah, I should be able to see this. All right. Dismantle patriarchy for system change. All right. Trying to find the exact part I wanted to read where they actually tried to define it. Okay, dismantle it. They look at dismantling patriarchy, delivering justice. They basically look at here's the fuckery that they're doing. Here's the fuckery that they're doing. I'll explain this before I read a little bit of it, but I'll explain it so you can get a better understanding of what's going on here. The fuckery that they're doing here is they're talking about basically any type of racism, any type of discrimination, any type of sexism, anything that can be looked at as wrong to anybody other than white men, they're calling that patriarchy. Okay. That's why they feel like black men should be fighting to dismantle patriarchy. When they're talking about patriarchy, it's a Jedi mind trick that they're doing. They're taking everything that they fight against and calling it something that it's not. But something that is good, that in another breath they will say that they actually want, when they talk about they want men to lead and be providers and be protectors and be this and be that. They're saying that they want patriarchy, but when they're fighting for everything that they're fighting for, they're trying to take patriarchy, or they're trying to take everything that they feel like oppresses women worldwide, and they want to call it patriarchy. Now, maybe in some other country, maybe in some third world countries, they can get away with that. Maybe in a country where women don't have rights, they probably could get away with that, but you can't get away with that here. To try to take everything that you think is wrong with society and call it patriarchy, that is probably the best feminist Jedi mind trick that they got going. You're basically saying the opposite. You're basically saying your feminist cause is good. Feminism is good, but the opposite of feminism is bad. But you want to put everything that that's bad, you want to call it man. Like, that's exactly what's going on here, and I'm about to show how when I blow this up. Let me blow this back up. Dismantling patriarchy, delivering justice. For Friends of Earth International, the fight to dismantle the fight to dismantle patriarchy and all structure of oppression within our organizations, structures, and societies is crucial to the system of change needed to face the current deep-rooted and interconnected social and environmental crises affecting environmental crisis affecting climate. Huh? Climate, food, and biodiversity. You see what they're talking about? See, they even talking about climate, food, and biodiversity. And they're putting that under patriarchy. System change means creating societies based on people's sovereignty and environment, socioeconomic, and gender justice. We seek freedom from patriarchy and all forms of oppression that exploit, devalue women, peoples, and the environment towards a radical transformation of our societies, of relationships between people, and the relationship between people and nature. It's a bad relationship between people and nature. That's patriarchy. And we believe that grassroots anti-capitalist feminism is the key to this transformation, both as a conceptual, ideological, political framework and as collective praxis and movement. We aim to show in practice that feminism can and is constructed from the grassroots. You know, Black Lives Matters is far from grassroots, but that's basically a feminist organization, but that's that. That it is relevant to all women and men who resist oppression. Do you see, like, okay, it's relevant to all women and men who resist oppression. And here it says, we have a strong and holistic political vision of justice and system change, and we build solutions together as women, as peoples. I think that's what I mean, trans, but anyway, they should say women and men. Could have said women and men, as an international federation and with our allies, including, okay. All right. I read the part that I really wanted to read, because that's the main part that's important here, what they say, that it is relevant to all women and men who resist oppression. The Jedi mind trick that they're pulling, they're taking something that, you know, patriarchy, something that's not bad, something that's not bad, something that they say that they want. They may not say it like that, but they say that they want. Whenever a woman's saying she wants a man to provide, she's saying she wants patriarchy. Whenever she expects a man to lead, she's saying she wants patriarchy. Whenever she's saying she wants men to protect women, she's saying she wants patriarchy. But everything that's bad in the world, they're defining it as patriarchy. They're defining it as men and saying we need to dismantle that. Complex says there's no negotiation with shit like this. Gotta have your own political agenda, gentlemen. Hashtag technocrat. That's why I shout out Ice Cube. And David Carroll said something. He said, you Negroes are doing it the wrong way, you know, saluting Trump for the platinum plan. He said, no, you write up your own damn plan and say, this is what we want. This is what we demand. That's how you do it. And that's what Cube is essentially doing. He's putting it on the table that this is what we want. This is what y'all got to do if you want our votes. Not you write up a plan for us and we look at it and tell if we like it. No, we write up exactly what we want. So shout out and salute to Cube for that. And I do give a shout out and salute to every black man who makes content Because if enough of us is making content where it can reach up anywhere in the area in the realm of thousands of views, I mean, not thousands, well, thousands per week, millions per month. It may not seem like that, but if you take every black man, even outside the black manosphere, who's making content that's saying with a message similar to what we're talking about, is going to reach the ears of Ice Cube. It's going to reach the ears of 50 Cent. It's going to reach the ears of black men with money and power. So we are definitely, no doubt, doing a good service here. But when I titled this one, Jamele Hill wants to dismantle patriarchy, it was obviously based off the statement that she made when she said she's increasingly becoming aware that black men don't, she's increasingly becoming aware that black men want better access to patriarchy. They just don't want to dismantle it, which is essentially saying that she's becoming increasingly aware that black men want more power, black men want more money, black men want more business, black men want to be in a position of leadership. And I'd be damned if black men at a massive level get it, and they might actually, I don't know, lead some black families. Would that be a disaster? Would that be a bad thing? But like I said, the Jedi mind trick, the trick bag they putting us in, is that they're trumping up feminism, where they're talking about dismantling a patriarchy, something that it could be easily argued that it's never really truly been one in the black community. It's been, a la carte or or patriarchy by association. Because I can say in my house is a patriarchal household, a woman could choose to conduct herself in a way that's conducive to patriarchy, or she can choose to conduct herself in a way that's conducive to matriarchy, and a man can too. But even when you break down the ultimate thing that they're really trying to dismantle, which is a clusterfuck, because they've defined everything, even global warming, as patriarchy. But if they're defining it as patriarchy, and I've watched the videos when I was leading up to this, where I've heard them do it. I've heard them break down and say that, men being in the positions of power in politics, that's patriarchy. Okay. Are those men making laws that benefit men? That's really the $1 million question. Because if we go back, decades ago, it was legitimately a situation where, yeah, men were in power, men were making the laws, and the laws were set up just so to where a man could marry a woman, and then when he decided he didn't want to be married to her no more, he could take the kids and put the bitch out on the street and get a new bitch. And the law supported that. That's some patriarchy for your ass right there, if you want to criticize patriarchy, because it's men in power making laws that benefit men. And the woman had to tap dance just right for her whole damn life if she wanted to be taken care of for her whole damn life, and she could still not get taken care of for her whole damn life and end up assed out on the street. So you're still calling it patriarchal rule, because the men who are in political power, I think, is at 75% right now, or 77 to women's 23%. But those 23% of women got probably more than half of men who are on board with making all the laws that benefit women, that make it to the point to where, no, a man cannot leave a woman assed out like that. He can't. If she's not in a position to take care of herself, he's have to take care of her even after he's done being with her, regardless of whose fault it was. That sounds like a matriarchal law to me. So is it really patriarchy if the laws are set up to where women can do whatever they want? They can go fuck who they want when they won't get pregnant and got a safety net from the government to catch them when they fall. They could be as matriarchal if they want to be. They can just find a random bid bucks to get them pregnant, and they can just take care of the kids off in the corner by themselves. And if they can't do it, the government will help them out. That's a matriarchal feminist wet dream. You don't need a man. If you're able to take care of your kids by yourself, find somebody to just give you some semen and take care of the kids by yourself, you're allowed to do that. You're able to do that in this country. But if you can't take care of them, there's a safety net to where you can take care of them by yourself. So either way, it's a matriarch because women got the kids by themselves. They got power to take the kids by themselves. 93% of the time, the kids are going to go with the mom. Even when the dad is fighting for it, she's still going to get the kids at a much, much higher rate. Like, the laws are helping matriarchy. So if they trying to dismantle what's patriarchy, if they looking at men being in positions of political power as that's patriarchy and that's what they got a problem with, well, I don't see how they have a problem. I don't see what those laws are doing that's inhibiting them from being able to do exactly what it is that they want to do or to benefit however they can benefit. So it's hard to really identify where the problem is. And I think somewhere along the way, they realize that they don't have a problem. And that's why they start trying to call everything patriarchy. Anything that's wrong, from global warming to paper cuts, they're calling it patriarchy and saying we need to dismantle the patriarchy. Because that's what they was doing in that article. Everything from global warming to paper cuts was called patriarchy, and that's what they need to dismantle. So if they got to dismantle anything that's bad in society, but they calling it patriarchy as a way to just try to say that men being in power is bad, really they just want more female position. Even though they're getting everything that they want, they just want more female. They want more women trumped up at a higher level, sitting at a higher place, sitting high and looking low. That's all they're essentially doing. It's not even nothing specific that they're fighting for, even when you look at that. Because when I look at what was written there and I look at what Black Lives Matter, which was a black feminist manifesto, before they took down the shit they said on their website, it was really no different. It was just a clusterfuck of all over the place information. Oh shit, my bad. Who was that? It says, I vote to take away women's freedom of speech and freedom of press. Damn. I didn't even look at that. I was sitting there talking, giving my speech while you had that up there. Well, I clicked on it. I got to stop clicking on stuff and not reading it. Shout out to Complex. Keep clicking on everything Complex type. It's about power and control. There's no limit. Yeah. We are an hour and a half in the building. Hour and a half. 341 people in the building. I'm about to drop the link. And what say you, gentlemen? What say you? Come on up, have your say. Give some words, speak to us, talk to us. Let me know what you think, what you feel, what's on your mind today. And I'm glad Complex came up because you've had quite a bit to say in the chat. Don't say nothing yet because I can't hear you until I get my earpiece in. Now you're able to speak. Go ahead. You got the flow. You got the mic. What's going on?
Howdy.
What's up? What's up, man? You've been
Nothing much.
you're
Nothing
going
much.
off. You're going off in the chat, so I know you got something on your mind, something to say on this topic. So go ahead
Oh,
and fire
well,
away.
it's an I mean, your dissection of it sort of led me to say these types of things because the more you peel back the layers of the onion, the more you keep finding that you're going to just keep fucking peeling layers. You know what I mean? Until you get to the point, it's like, wait, what the fuck is really happening? What is the goal here?
Yeah.
And it's basically, like I said, ultimately this is political, okay? And it's about control and power. Okay, so
Say that again.
uh,
You borked for 1 second. You said it's about what?
it's about control and power.
Yeah.
Okay, so one way to and you know it's kind of like a fucking psyop. So one way to basically maintain power and control is essentially by campaigning that you're actually subjugated by the opposite.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So even though look, collectively we know that Black America is a de facto matriarchy. However, you have the matriarchy crying about the fucking patriarchy. Like, and this
Yeah.
is the reason why we're sitting here asking these rhetorical questions, really just trying to peel back these layers. Now, I'll tell you this. Well, if we were to just kind of jump the shark just a bit, and let's just go with the assumption that, well, they are their own political constituency. And if we take that angle on it, then it would understand why it is that they're performing political psyops and shit, right? Because other groups of people do this type of shit all the time, particularly in other countries. If you follow international news and politics and what goes on with the Labour Party and the other parties in UK Parliament and in all these other places. So, on the political level, the how you manipulate minds and how you influence minds to sell a narrative, I mean, it's pretty savvy work. I will say that, and I'll have to tip my hat to them because they've been able to do it so well for so long. However, technology has now become the equalizer.
Explain that. Explain that one for me.
Well, what you were talking about earlier and what BGS talked about, the impact of 2.0 and how the narrative is spread amongst men who largely were voiceless. And it was technology that actually allowed them to have an exchange of dialogue and ideas so that we can all start to get a base understanding of what the fuck it actually is that's been going on in Black America. Okay. Yeah. So when you think about, take all the bullshit ass conversations and throw that shit in the garbage for just a second, right? And let's go with like the nuggets that have been shared within this whole sort of area of YouTube here, right? So you've had, you've got you've had your BGSs, your TSONs, you've had all of these people, man, that have given us fucking the studies, the reports. You got people in academia, okay, brothers, okay, and it's technology that's kind of brought us all together to get us this base understanding of what the fuck we're actually dealing with. Now, what's happening in response to that is the other side is now seeing this as a challenge to power. I said this in the chat. I said, look, white dudes ain't gonna be the first people to step up and challenge Black men if we collectivize and have sort of like a base political agenda, i.e. what Ice Cube did, going to go talk to the Republicans and then going to go and talk to the Democrats and say, look, he put 500 bill on the table. Are you trying to match it, or are you trying to come with 750? What you trying to do? Right now, that's called a power play. So one Trump puts 500 billion on the table. We supposed to go over to the other side and say, look, y'all trying to negotiate or what? And that's what Q did. And guess what happened? He got fucking flamed for it. But see, as a Black man, you're not supposed to do that shit. See, that's how you know the jig is up on this bullshit. Because as soon as a motherfucker went and met with the 2 presidential candidates that we're gonna be voting on here on the 11th, or I'm sorry, on the 3rd, look, they're like, well, what the fuck y'all doing? What are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
And so we're sitting there saying, like, well, what's up with them? And what I'm saying is that I think we need to come to the realization we got 2. Well, we've yet to define ours, what our political interest is. See, that's where we at. We need to figure that shit out now. Now, I keep saying, hey, yo, technocrats the way to go, but we got hood conservatives. We got all the kind of other shit. So I guess we still got some shit. We got shit to work out, right?
No, nobody knows what a technocrat is, man. Even though you told us 100 times.
Man, go to the goddamn brain trust, man. Go over there. I don't want to hear that shit. Like, y'all know what time. Just go over there. Go over there. You want to get hip? Go over there. And we ain't even got to go there. Shit.
I know.
We behind.
We slow, man. We gonna catch up, man. Give us like 3 years, and we'll be caught up to where the brain trust is at right now.
Well, saying
you gotta give us some time, man.
Nah, we put it out there. It's already there, man. You get hip now. I don't know if we got 3 years like that. I really don't.
Yeah, there you go. Shout out to the hood. You brought him out the woodwork.
I mean, I brought him up in jest, dude. Like I said, it's not even like a part of a major point, because what I'm saying is that we all, as men, we still have varying schools of thought, right? And what we don't have is sort of like a base political agenda, right? And those are things that, regardless of like your political angle, those are going to be things that we can all agree upon.
Right.
Well,
what was your initial thoughts when you saw that comment when she said? Because I mean, it's a lot to unpack and see what it really means. Because when Black women are talking about dismantling the patriarchy, or when white women are talking about it, like I showed, it's a mind fuck to even try to figure out what they mean. Because, like I said, it covers everything from racism to global warming to paper cuts when they talk about dismantling the patriarchy. But what was your initial thoughts when you saw that that tweet or Instagram post where she said, I've increasingly come to find out that Black men just want better access to patriarchy. They don't actually just want to they don't really want to dismantle it. Like, that's what we're supposed to be doing. What was your initial thoughts?
Let's see. My initial thoughts with regards to that. Let me see. Can you still hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So, like I said, that's kind of like, that's like an indicator. Like, if we're paying attention, she's actually giving up the ghost. That's how I looked at it. I'm like, that's an interesting statement. I mean, do you hear men saying the opposite?
That what what would be the opposite? Want to dismantle?
It's like
give me an opposite statement to that.
No, okay. She said, she said, what is it? I'm increasingly finding
out that Black men don't actually want to that Black men just want better access to patriarchy. They don't actually want to dismantle it. I think the equivalent would be us saying, I'm increasingly finding out that Black women want better access to feminism. They don't actually want to dismantle feminism.
Thank you.
That would be the equivalent statement.
Thank you.
It took me a lot to even put that together.
It's brilliant, bro. It's like, what the fuck? And this is what I said also in the chat. I was like, dude, we got to be more mentally sharp as men, bro. Like, we got to stop being stupid. Like, really, I keep harping on intelligence, but dude, it'll get you a long way. Right? And it makes it a lot easier to just see bullshit coming from a mile away. And you can just be completely dismissive of it.
Yeah.
Dude, it's already on the table, dude. Their political agenda does not match mine. Henceforth, I give zero fucks about them. I give a fuck about my agenda. Fuck theirs.
But they wear nice T-shirts and hold up signs when a Black man is killed by the cops.
Yeah, for their gain. I'm not stupid. For their gain. It's your expense, their gain.
Man. All right, we got Triple Black coming on up. He got no cape zone. This is you. Okay, hold on. I still got that there. That don't need to be there. Hold on. Give me a second, fellas. Give me a second. I'm gonna get it right. And I think that's what I was trying to do there. All right, he got no cupcake zone. Uh,
What's up, man?
What's up? I know that. Yeah, there's Triple Black from yesterday. What's
Yeah,
going on? What's going on? I thought
nothing much, man. Nothing much, man. It's refreshing, dog, that you're having these these intellectual conversations, and it's beyond surface level. So that I definitely love that aspect of it.
I'm trying. I'm trying.
Yeah, my thoughts were, and the thing is I'm not criticizing Cube, but I think one thing that Cube didn't realize that, and honestly, I don't think he meant to make a lot of this stuff public. I think the Democrats kind of use this because they want this fight right here because what exists within the Black culture right now is a gender war, and today kind of almost made me realize how that like they want to use that gender war to kind of get some Black votes and stuff like what you were just talking about. And if you look all over the internet now, there's a campaign. It started with I think with Jada Pinkett Smith's mom, and now Amber Rose is basically forcible rape or something. I mean, you know how these things go. It's
Wait,
that they
wait.
want to
What
have
you
that
talking
fight.
about? What you threw forcible rape into the discussion. Now explain what you're talking about.
Yeah. The shade room is promoting. Now you have all these women coming out saying that they were married to basically Black men. I think Jada Pinkett Smith says that when she was in her marriage, her husband had non-consensual sex with her.
You
But
said Jada Pinkett?
yeah, Jada Pinkett Smith's mom.
Oh, you didn't say mom. You just said Jada Pinkett Smith. Okay, I thought you
Yeah,
were saying
her
that Will
mom.
Smith
Yeah, her
had
mom.
some non-consensual
Yeah.
sex with his wife.
So I
Okay.
mean, what I'm saying is the troops are rallying,
Yeah.
and I think somebody like Ice Cube kind of woke them up a little bit because if you
Mm-hmm.
just what the subject that you were talking about, I mean, I think in the Democrats' mind, that's an issue that you want to you want to cause confusion. You want to get Black men and Black women fighting, and one thing that Black women are not going to let I guess this election cycle do is take Kamala Harris out. They're not going to let in the fact that Cube even is even thinking about going with the other side triggers them, and I think that has a lot to do with it, and I don't think that they realize how deep the gender war within the Black community is and how that might affect the election.
All right, L Boogie in the building. He says, "Tell him no win in his cape today." Nah, man, his cape in the closet today. He cool. He put his cape up, but but hey, I don't want to get too deep off into that topic. That's an interesting topic. That non-consensual sex in
No,
a marriage.
it's one of
I mean, no, I was married 13 years, and so I know the process of she said no, and then she laying on her side. You just wait for her to go to sleep and just try to slide it in. It happens, but
right.
it happens. Just come on. You gonna start liking it in 1 minute. Just go with it. Just go with it. But
Right,
anyway,
but what I'm just saying, what you see is
but yeah, they're
the
charging
troops are rallying.
they're charging husbands up after the fact, and that's on some that's on some BS that
But
is.
but
It speaks to, hold on real quick. It speaks to what I was talking about yesterday, where the chick basically after 10 years of marriage, well, my body is going through changes and my sex drive isn't what it used to be. They're basically trying to make sure that they're trying to get some legislation they're trying to get something on paper to they're trying to legislate sexless marriages.
right,
That's the early stages of what's happening right there. Trying to
right.
figure out a way to legislate some sexless marriages.
What I'm saying is there it's if you really pay attention, I think what they're going to start to do, especially with the media. You got the shade room. You're going to have Oprah. You're going to have all those people kind of rallying the troops. And I think the Democratic Party thinks that's it's almost a winning issue if you get black men and black women kind of warring with each other, because majority, I mean, pretty much they're just trying to solidify the Democratic vote. And let's be honest, who are most of the registered voters within the Democratic Party?
Yeah, that's a whole nother thing when you say that. You notice only Democrats are really really promote to go out and vote. You know, vote or die, rock the vote, 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 vote. It's like only Democrats do that. But that's a whole nother subject that just popped in my head as why Democrats are the only ones that truly, really try to rally the troops when it comes to voting. I don't know.
Yeah,
Anyway,
but why did Jamele Hill even bring up that subject right now?
I don't. We'll get back into that because I do gotta go. Excuse me. I do gotta go to LAR in the building. What's going on, brother?
What's happening? What's going on, everybody?
What's up? What's
Yo,
up?
yo.
What's happening? I'm gonna try to make 3 quick points. For one, I don't think Jamele Hill has kids, and she's not gonna have kids. So a person like that talking about patriarchy is asinine, because I'm guessing when she dies, she's gonna give her belongings and her inheritance to her nieces or something.
Mm-hmm.
And if she has nephews, that means they're out of the loop. The other thing is, the other thing is, you're talking to a black woman, and black women are amening a black woman about black men not dismantling the patriarchy when they're feminists, and their feminist counterparts who are white, Asian, Hispanic, and Middle Eastern or Muslim, they're not trying to dismantle their patriarchy because they from it. So, you know, I guess she's the only one that's out of the loop on that. And, you know, adversely, the third point is hitting on something you said earlier. How you gonna be pro-black and be pro-black matriarchy, but you notice their political agenda as women, they never can say what they're gonna do for the black community. They always say what they're gonna do for women.
Mm-hmm.
So why would men sign up for, you know, quote unquote empowerment? I said this leading up the wrong way. The majority of black women are single, unmarried. So this is the group least affected by patriarchy because they're not even in the same house with a patriarch. So they have nothing in mass to dismantle in the first place.
It's a mind fuck,
Exactly.
I told you.
Yeah. It's shit is crazy, man. Shit is crazy that they even, and I don't know if you saw the movie Antebellum, but that was a theme in the movie. They had the word dismantling the patriarchy was said in that movie, with a black woman on stage giving a speech to a crowd of about 100 black women and maybe 15 or so black men, and they're cheering about dismantling a patriarchy. And I'm like where? Like, what is y'all trying to dismantle? Like, is if anything, y'all have succeeded. You need to give yourself a pat on the back when it comes to dismantling a patriarchy. Y'all can put a flag on that when mission accomplished. I mean,
well, yeah, you always have to keep a clamp on things if you want to maintain power control. And I see my good friend, the nameless protagonist, is here.
Mm-hmm.
I think he can actually speak to a higher degree on that than I can, actually.
Oh yeah. I'm glad he here. Go ahead and fire away, nameless protagonist. Welcome back to the show. You got the floor, you got the mic. Go ahead and fire away.
Salute, family. How you guys doing today?
Great, doing great.
Doing well, sir.
Wow. So I'm glad it's kind of come to this, because I think it highlights the power dynamic that's really been underlying this entire conversation about the gynocracy. I know a lot of people are very confused about what that word kind of means, but I think we're starting to finally see and open in the public its effects. What I'd like to do is, Bernard Riley, if you don't mind, I actually did a video responding to Angry Man's assessment of what's going on in the Black community, and it's labeled How We Got Here. Do you mind if I link that in the chat?
No, go ahead. Yeah, definitely. link it in the chat. I don't know how long your video was. I mean, you can. Oh, I don't care if you play it.
Oh no, I'm not going to play it, but
Okay,
it's gonna. People can go back and look at it retroactively.
Okay, cool.
I think retrospectively rather. I think it details a timeline on how we got here, but I'll give the reduced iteration. Essentially, we can pinpoint all of what we're experiencing right now to the advent of intersectional feminism. And what I don't think people know common knowledge wise is what separates intersectionalism from the rest of feminism in general. The key with
I was just going to ask you that question. Explain lay out the difference between feminism and intersectional feminism,
because this is what we've internalized as Black culture, essentially, without us understanding why. So feminism can be assessed as the common expression of women wanting just equal rights, right? Like we can relate to that to a degree. We hear the word equal. We root for underdogs. We don't like that. So we want to see people treated like human beings, which is what the first and second wave was about. However, when we get into intersectionalism, there was an event known as the Coombe River Collective, which ironically were a bunch of alternate lifestyle Black women who believed that they were disassociated from the greater Black power movement. And they assessed that they were going to come together, utilize feminism as a dynamic of power, and make a connection between white supremacy and the patriarchy. And as a result, view the fact that their being Black made them relatively more disadvantaged than other women of different ethnicities. This became known as the double negative. And so you had a lot of feminists that were adopting this ideology in the universities at the time around the 70s. So when this started getting popular is when, well, I guess we can say, I'm going to say J. Edgar Hoover had a role in this. In other words, COINTELPRO began pushing this to the Black power movements. And that's when you started to see the Black Panthers slowly get taken over by women and then slowly begin to dismantle under the idea of stopping white supremacy by virtue of stopping the patriarchy. And that ideology began to seep into our media. So you got folks like Angela Davis showing up out of nowhere that changed their message up from addressing things with Black people to addressing or asserting the idea that Black female liberation is Black liberation. And that's something that stayed with us ever since that era. So if you're Generation X, or if you're a millennial, your parents grew up on this. This is what was seen as Black nationalism. It became the foundation in the 90s for the new iteration of Hotepism. That's why when you look at Dr. Ben-Yakinov's iteration of that, when he says the Black woman is God versus Sarah Sutton-Seti interpretation of the Black woman is God, even though Dr. Ben-Yakinov was the one that initiated him into that science. The difference was the influence of intersectional feminism. From that point on, it not only created a lot of television shows, individuals that were inspired by that created movies like the movie The Color Purple. It set the stage in the 80s for all those female talking shows that pretty much just put Black men on blast. You copy that into how they were able to get into politics and start influencing policy. So we get this war on drugs. We get a complete reform on child support perspective. We get an increase in funds for welfare. And then we get Clinton showing up later on in the 90s saying, okay, the reason why these women are on welfare is because somehow these, quote, deadbeat dads aren't doing their job. So we need to enforce more punishments for child support enforcement. And it literally sets the stage for everything we're beginning now. And it creates the narratives for everything we're seeing now. So many of us grow up having internalized intersectional feminist ideology under the pretext of egalitarianism, meaning 50-50, which is where this comes from. And our worldview begins from an intersectional feminist perspective, which has a lot of undertones, because in reality, what intersectionalism has done is it's allowed for women to divorce themselves from the social contract that the old iteration of patriarchy had and maintained, while still holding men responsible for their side of the bargain without allowing them to have that level of independence as well. So we have an inherent imbalance of power socially and politically, largely due to our not participating for one major reason. And I'll sum it up with this. Dr. T. Hassan Johnson and Dr. Tommy Curry speak about a flat blackness. What that means is, generally speaking, when it comes down to disseminating power, Black men are invisible. There's nowhere in legal language or verbiage where Black men specifically get targeted. It's generally Black women. And whenever Black men do get something from this idea of being Black, it's in this guise of person of color or minority or Black people overall. We are so used to seeing Black women taking front and center when it comes to having demographic power that Black men have gone effectively invisible. That is pretty much why we don't have a voice with the Democratic Party. They began to observe this phenomenon when they noticed that around the 90s, Black men and Black women have a very sharp divide when it comes to who supports conservative ideologies. And this is what gives this narrative of the Black men who support it are, quote, disaffected. And this is where we get a lot of expression of this so-called gender war going on right now. And probably a lot of points that the conservatives bring up. This is where the overlap really begins and why this space, which is decidedly non-gynocratic, is really starting to show up. And when we see the situation that just happened with Ice Cube, that's an illustration of the individuals that are part of the gynocracy, the top tier of that class. They ran up and tried to give him a handler for doing what we pretty much get complained about not doing this entire time, taking initiative. The problem was we didn't ask permission before we made action. That right there is a model that we learned from our mothers. And our mothers are the main ones that enforce this policy of the gynocracy. If you observe the pattern and listen to the language, you'll start seeing that. Because the family unit is not seen as the mother, father, and child. It's simply seen as the mother and the child. Yep. And when you see the way it plays out, this is kind of how we got here. So.
And you know what, man? Like I said, he could say it way better than I could.
Man, like, yeah, that's you left me damn near speechless.
You guys got to go check out his content. Go watch his shit.
I'll be checking him out. Yeah, definitely. He put that link in the chat, yeah. So y'all gonna make sure y'all go check him out. Go subscribe to the brother. We dropping some good information. He sound like King Sigma all day, but and be dropping knowledge like King Sigma. Be definitely dropping the knowledge, man. I appreciate you.
But I got to start getting ready for work though, family. So yeah, I'll be in the chat listening.
Okay, cool. Yeah, thanks for coming up.
Absolutely. Y'all have a good day.
Yep, you too.
All right, brother.
Link is back in the chat. Anybody else want to come up and have a piece of this? Anybody else? Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
I have a question for you guys. I just want to get your opinion. If because obviously my opinion is they're trying to fan the flames of the gender war within the Black community. I mean, from a voting perspective, who do you think wins that war? From a voting block perspective in numbers.
Define victory. Oh, you just saying
the most amount of votes, Black women or Black men. Trump. I guess Black men Trump votes versus Black women Biden votes.
Oh, well, the Black women by a mile, just because a high percentage of Black men are going to vote for Biden. I think the majority of Black men will vote for Biden. Like if it gets up to 35 to 40%, I'll be impressed. I'd definitely be impressed if 35 to 40% of Black men vote for vote for the GOP. I would be shocked. I would be very shocked if that happened. One other note on this, because they always talk about how Black women vote more than Black men. I think it's like that with other races as well. I got to check that out. I do know that Black men do vote more than Hispanic men. We're not at the bottom of voting where they try to make us, sound so apathetic, but they don't charge up, Hispanic men like that. I don't know. Even when it comes to Asian men, I forgot. It's not it's not as far off as you think. Like where black men just not showing up at all. That's another thing that they do.
Do you think Trump? Do you think Trump has done enough to move the needle on black men? Because obviously, that's I think within his campaign, he's definitely trying to court that that segment. Do you think he's done enough to move the needle with black men?
I don't think it's a matter of, well, for me, I don't think it's a matter of whether or not he's done enough. I just know that black men are getting more and more tired of the Democrats and realizing that the Democratic Party ain't really a party for us. I don't think Republicans are just the ultimate answer or the savior. Like I said, I'm not putting on a "Make America Great Again" hat. I'm not, I'm not about to, you're not about to see me, doing the Dougie with a Trump t-shirt on or some shit. Like I ain't dancing for them motherfuckers, but they got my vote.
I always wondered about that because it just seemed like maybe it's just social media. It just seemed like lately, it just mean a lot more guys want to, go on the Trump train. Is it that Trump is a better option as far as policy, or is it just the Democrats are just that terrible that they're the better alternative?
I think Republican policies, like we talk a lot in this space. Like they actually did a poll and they asked why are black men trending in the direction of Trump. One of the main reasons was they liked his immigration policies, which is true that if you let a lot of unskilled workers, you make them legal, they're going to take a lot of the lower skilled blue collar jobs. There's a lot of black men that are working those. I mean, I've done that kind of work. I've worked those assembly lines, driven those fork trucks. I've done all that stuff. Those are jobs that pay decent money. At General Motors or Chrysler. Like I live in Michigan, so we got all kind of automotive plants that I've worked for. I've worked in the automotive industry. So yeah, I mean, you make a underclass of men of all those Hispanic men become legal. Yeah, they're gonna take a lot of jobs from the bottom of black men. Our black man that got the skills and training and all of that, he might be okay, but it'll be a percentage of black men that won't be okay. So it was that was one reason why why black men were trending towards Trump. It was 3 reasons specifically. I forgot which were the 3 reasons they found in their study, but yeah. So it's a combination of the Democrats and Republican policies. They don't. Oh yeah, it's a percentage of black men that are doing well that want to pay less taxes. That's a percentage in the game right there. Then they realize, what is the Democratic Party doing for me? All it's doing is further enabling, a lot of the shit that we see in the black community that we don't like. So that was one factor, and there was another factor too. Go ahead, real quick.
Real quick.
Fantastic.
But the current, I mean, if you look at it, and by saying this, I'm going to trigger, some people. But if you look at the current policy, especially the tax policy, it's pretty much an expansion of what was already set in place. There's nothing new to it. But if you ask those same people about, who's better, Obama or Trump, I mean, they're gonna, they're definitely going to say Trump, but I mean, it's just an expansion of the Bush tax cuts that's been happening for, the last, 10, 15 years. So, I mean, from a policy standpoint, what's really different than 8 years ago or 12 years ago?
Well, I did a stream called it was called Receipts, What Obama Did for Black People. I had Black Torch on, and he laid out everything that Obama did for black people. So, I mean, it was some quality issues in that because me and him was out of sync for a while. So at some parts of it kind of hard to listen to, but he did do a real good detailed layout everything Obama did for black people. And I got no problem with saying that Obama didn't come out and just grab his nuts and say, this is what I'm doing for black people. This is a black agenda. But if you look at a lot of things that he did, the needle moved in a good direction for black people. It just wasn't a hardcore, chest beating black agenda where he wanted to do it in a covert way, so he didn't look like the black president who came in to give black people free cable. So he kind of did it kind of low key. I'll
I
say
just want
that.
to say this, man. I just want to say this. I wish we would get out of this goddamn thinking about this fucking black agenda. Just like 30, 45 minutes ago, we just dispelled that myth that it actually ever even existed.
Mm,
So, uh, come on,
yeah,
man. Like, this is what I mean. Like, the smoke
but
and
that's why people say Barack didn't do anything for black people because
well, I mean, well, no,
But he
no.
didn't though.
But
But he
no,
really
no, no.
didn't.
Here's the thing, dude. It's subjective. Here's the thing. What was your agenda? See, now, if you had an agenda, then you could firmly make a determination as to whether he did something for you or not.
mm,
You get one? No, if you have an agenda, right, and a president doesn't match up with the promises made, given the agenda that you presented to him, i.e., Ice Cube going to Trump, and then turning around and then going to Biden. I'm saying, dude, we just saw this all play out here just last week.
yeah, yeah. I don't want to get too far upfield talking about Obama. I mean, but I will say there were things like when he saved the automotive industry. Now, maybe he did that just because it was the right thing to do, but it also
Well,
is
no,
a
it's the
percentage of.
automotive. It's the automotive industry. It's not that what he
Yeah,
didn't
it
do
wasn't
that.
exclusive to
He didn't
black
do
people.
that.
That's
I
Yeah,
all
he
I'm
know,
didn't
saying.
do
Nothing
that
he did was
I
exclusive
as
to
a
know,
black
part of a
people.
black agenda. It was for the
Yeah, nothing
automotive.
he did was
I know.
exclusive to black people.
Yeah,
Nothing.
Yeah,
exactly, exactly. No, I agree with that 100%. He didn't do nothing that was exclusive to black people,
Or black
but
black
you
men
can,
specifically, because he
you can.
did do something exclusive for black women. He did do something exclusive for black women, but he didn't do anything exclusive for black men. And when he tried, he bitched out and he left it alone. Like you said, we ain't gonna get on
Yeah,
that mama shit, I guess.
yeah. The only thing I was going to say when he did save the automotive industry, you could look at the numbers and see how many black male jobs were saved and created from that because black men majority work in blue collar trades and those entry level blue collar jobs in the automotive industry. So in a roundabout way, you got to think, okay, maybe when he did that, he knew that that would save a lot of black male jobs, or maybe he just did it just to do it and it just coincidentally helped black men at a higher
Yeah, it's about
rate.
everything that black people got out of Obama was by proxy. It was never direct, what's name. But even though
Possibly.
LGBT was giving things directly, he
Yeah,
stood tall, he stood brave for the LGBT. He
yeah.
refused to do that for black men. So again, we can just move on, man. It is what it
Yeah,
is.
yeah, no, I'm with you on that. But I did. It was an interesting show when Black Torch did the breakdown of everything. It was interesting. It was interesting, but it
Yeah,
wasn't.
I didn't want to dismantle all the brothers' good work that day. So I just, it is what it is.
That's what I wanted. I wanted somebody to come up and give him
Nah,
a
man,
big challenge.
he put a lot of work into that, Bernard. I didn't want to crush. I didn't. He seemed like a good brother, man. I ain't, what I'm
You,
saying. Niggas already think I'm the bad guy. I
you
wanted
know
to let
me.
him have his thunder. Want to let him have his day. He was a featured the guy, so I just, what I'm
Since
saying, was what it was.
well,
since
it's
when do
subjective.
since when do you care about shattering somebody's dreams, fantastic?
Because he cool though. Hey, I didn't know him, so I never
Well,
even heard of him anything, man. So
the thing is,
I gotta stop making so many enemies, man. I gotta choose my enemies
All
wisely.
right.
well, no, it's all subjective. It really just kind of depends on where you're coming from. Like Black Torch he's like me. He's a registered independent, so he's speaking about it from an objective standpoint.
All
You know what
right.
I mean? He's like, because he's completely amoral to it, but he was making points about some of the positive aspects of Obama's administration. But like I said, I mean, that's kind of neither here nor there if you specifically as a black man don't have a specific black agenda for the black male constituency. That's kind of what we're on right about now in light of recent events that have taken place. Like again, i.e., we've got Jamele Hill and we've got the Ice Cube situation. I mean, I don't know why even to go there with Obama like that because we're here now.
Yeah. Yeah. No, yeah, it was an interesting show, and then Triple Black brought him up, so I referenced him to that show if he's if you want to see a breakdown of how Obama's policies or presidency helped the black people, he can go check that out. But fantastic. Well, hold on real quick. Bucket 88 in the building says Bernard and Mr. Fantastic, keep up the great work. We'll certainly try. Go ahead, Fantastic. I don't know what prompted you to come on up, but let's try to get back on the
No, man,
subject.
yeah. The whole Ice Cube thing, man. I think Ice Cube I think you brought it up and you put it in the best way, Bernard. Ice Cube said everything that you just said on the biggest platform that a black man with actual mind of black people. He said, "Don't give me this people of color shit. Don't give me this POC shit.
Mm-hmm.
This is for black people. I don't have a party affiliation. I want to deal with power. all of the things we talk about in this space, man. And like I said, you know, we come to find out, not saying that he got it from this space, but the mind of men in this space thinking black men, bro, it's out there. The fact of the matter, like I said, blame black men, like trolling, like the trolling shit. Everything you're seeing now on like major media and shit like that, man. We're starting to see it. Black men are tired of the BS, man. We're no longer gonna be the toilets. We're no longer gonna be the fucking punching bags. We're no longer gonna be the walking wallets and walking dicks. That shit's over with. And I think Ice Cube, bro, we got to motherfucking back him up. Although I see the little things here and there, but you know, I'm saying nothing is completely bad, nothing is completely good. So I think especially men in this space need to jump behind him full force, and all other black men that want futures for not only themselves but their sons, their nephews, grandsons, and everything. So you know, to follow, because he's saying this. And shout out to Ice Cube, bro. He's motherfucking slaughtering heads. Everybody from mainstream media, CNN, the white anchors to the dumbass bitches over on Fox Soul. You know what I'm saying? What do you want? And like he asked him, but what do you want me to do? So you want me to write it up for you? I'll do your job for you and say what you want. Instead of you helping me out, you writing it up and sending it to me, I gotta do it for you. So again, man, everything we fucking talk about in this space, motherfucking Ice Cube is the motherfucking he's the motherfucking Hannibal in this motherfucker right now, bro. He's a Genghis Khan. He's the motherfucking Shaka Zulu. He's Alexander the Greek. He's tearing everything down. So I think we need to take this moment, bro, to embolden ourselves and embolden the message. By all means, bro, don't fold. And like you said, the Democrats did this purposely. This was a job to shut him up. Nigga, how dare you? How dare you step out of line and try to take other black men with you away from the plantation? And like Ice Cube's a motherfucking proven businessman, long term, and black man. So, this is a guy that came out and he was one of the, most pro-black motherfucking rappers and motherfuckers ever. Look at his albums. Look at the movies he participated in. Everybody remembers what was the joint he did with Omar Epps? The college movie. I can't think of the name of it. But that was a
Higher
deep
learning.
Higher learning.
Higher learning. You know what I mean? Just look at his resume, man. So it's no question about, who he is and what he is as far when it comes to black people and black men. But of course, you have people like Jamele Hill. Again, like shout out to LAR. He came up in and noted out Jamele Hill is a single woman. She can't keep a man. She has no children. She's 40 plus. Jamele Hill is like, I think mid 40s or some shit like that. If not, if not late. And she's done. And like I said, she missed her chance and opportunity to, fall under the patriarchy and be happy, but she bought into the feminism bullshit.
Y'all know who her ex-man is, right?
No.
Nah, who?
So do y'all remember the show that she used to have with Michael Smith back in the day?
Yeah, the nigga she brought on the show that left her alone, that she was like marriage proposal. He was like, bitch, get the fuck out of here.
Smith, they were dating at the time, dude. They used to do their show
Michael
together.
Smith's married, man. What you talking about? Whoa, you snitching.
Wait, hold on, no, listen. We got to go back, dude. If you go back and listen, I think Michael Smith did an interview. This is a long time ago, man. I want to say that they were, or Jamele Hill admitted to it. Like it was from an interview from a long time ago. This one, when Michael Smith and Jamele Hill at first started out, when they were doing what was that show called? This may be like in the mid.
Well, that's even worse.
They were doing it was called a Numbers Don't Lie or something like that.
He's talking about radio before they even got on the show. So that's even worse.
Yeah, we're talking about they was doing something called His and Hers or something like that.
His and Hers, that's what it was.
That's even worse though, bro, because that means he left her and married a whole nother bitch right in front of her face, and then she had to keep
that's kind of what happened, bro.
So again, that tells me
and she been scoring ever since, bro.
Yeah, Jamele Hill is just a sour, crazy ass bitch. I mean, she got the and again, you know she's something wrong with it because she the dark skinned chick or the brown skinned chick with the hazel eyes. So bitch, if you fuck something up like that, bitch, you're not using that to your advantage, bitch. It's you, it's not him. It's you, not them. It's all you. But furthermore, man, like I said, just this shit. You know who Jamele Hill is? Jamele Hill is the same person who said straight black. She shared the story about straight black men are the white men.
Yeah, man. She said that.
Say that again. What did she say? She
said that
straight black men are the white men of black people.
Yep, she said that.
Oh yeah, she gone.
So again, I told y'all, and this was years ago. So like I said, man, this is the time for you to be on Jamele Hill's fucking head. Who the fuck is she? She's nothing of importance. Like I said, she's done it over with. She's not even respected in her field as far as journalism and everything, because she's switched over completely and totally to the social justice warrior aspect of it. And once somebody shows you that they're enemy, you treat them as such. You know what I mean? Like you guys are saying here, man, we got to start realizing and understanding. We're not talking anything physical or whatnot, but from a political, economic, financial standpoint, we need to start fighting our enemies. And if black women want to feel like they don't want to be included with us and they want to be separate, and of course, you want to promote everything but black men finally taking their proper place as every other man. Just think about this shit, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's fucked up, but it's funny at the same time. When you said one of the joints about what one of the replies to black men, what blame black men was most 98% of niggas don't know what that means. It's man, that's a sad, tragic comedy. That's a tragic comedy, man, because he's accurate. He's right. Most black men don't know what the fucking patriarchy means because you never see one. And the black community hasn't been under one for over 50 years. So if you, again, black women have had the lead, they've been in control of everything, big mama, grandmama, mama, auntie, all this other shit, right? Okay, so black men are finally stepping up to the point, and Ice Cube is being the champion of that. Why in the fuck would you have a problem with it? You guys obviously failed as leaders. As again, women do not make the best leaders. Women don't take stress as well as men. Women don't take physical damage as well as men. They don't take mental damage as well as men. A lot of other things, man. And I'm just saying, Jemele Hill's not your friend. A lot of these black women aren't your friend. And once they prove themselves as such, you treat them as fucking enemies. It just is what it is.
Hey, y'all,
What's up,
I
everybody?
gotta take off.
You know,
Hey, I
what
gotta
up?
take off, you guys. You guys have a good day, okay?
All right,
Yeah.
peace, complex. Thanks for coming
Yeah.
up. We got
Hey.
Hurricane Edward in the building, man. What's going on? I'm glad you came up on this one. So go ahead.
We need
You
we
got
need
the
to start
floor, you
doing
got the
these
mic.
WWF taglines, man, for real. But anyway, no, absolutely, man. So yeah, Jamele Hill. I'm still coming down off of having to deal with Ice Cube being on Fox Soul. That
I haven't
shit,
even seen it yet. I'm about to.
that shit is horrible. It made Jamele Hill the shit she was saying. Cause here's the thing. The thing about Jamele Hill is all her money, her anything that matters as far as the public space comes from black men. She was there to basically be kind of the sister girl to cover a lot of these athletes and to make these athletes comfortable in getting interviews and coming up on ESPN. That was her job. But see, the issue with her, and Fantastic spoke to this a little bit, is a lot of her bitterness comes from the fact that she's had proximity to these guys, but these guys have never looked her way at all.
Right.
And a lot of her bitterness, a lot of that comes from that. And that's just, I mean, as what you call LeVar Ball would say, you just need to stay in your lane and count your blessings. You're making, you're a millionaire because you're just covering sports, and it's not like she's the most qualified person to do so. But then again, you got women like Carrie Champion is on the same shit, and Carrie Champion is a lot more attractive than Jamele Hill. So a lot of them chicks on ESPN is on some like, as far as black women, is on some crazy stuff. It's only like one that's really like worth something. Sage Steele is on some I'm not white enough crap. So they all got their issues. But as far as speaking to Jamele Hill particularly, a lot of these black women are tired of pretending. That's really the issue. And what you see with the boomers versus Xers versus millennials, and you're going to start to see it even more, is these women are tired of pretending. The difference between the older generations is the older generations was two things they understood, the women. Number one, they understood when the cash out when they were winning. So they can get a dude to be a stepdad, at least how to create the perception of power that dude had. And then they were good at holding their tongue at least a little bit, being on more of the passive aggression side, state of constant passive aggression, rather than being overtly aggressive. Because the problem is, once you wake black men up, they're going to stay woke up. And that's it. And what you have is each generation fails to understand that. That's why the women, the millennials, didn't understand that stepdaddy shit was not guaranteed. This is why you have so many black men that are not married and also childless, because they're not playing the stepdaddy game no more. They lost that from the Xers, because the Xers was doing that. And now with the Zillennials, even though Jamele Hill's not a Zillennial, but you're seeing the slide. Now they ain't even looking for black women like that no more. They checking directly for non-black women. And most NBA players and sports athletes do deal with black women. That's not always gonna be true in the future, where they crying like it's not true. So as far as the patriarchy piece, in particular, I'm thankful and fantastic, and all of y'all should be thankful for something like this. You understand how easier this makes what we do? This is the type of shit to where, you know, a lot of people are crying about what the manosphere ain't doing, but like the manosphere needs to be prepared for this, because you see like people get on Fox Soul, which I call mainstream social media because that stuff is funded by white folks. These people are going to start looking for conversations like black men as they start to wake up and realize, wow, this shit is on mainstream. Like she actually said that. Are we in a patriarchy? They're going to start asking questions they never would have thought to answer, because you got a lot of these dudes that think we in it together. And we just got to be prepared to answer those questions and be able to absorb those people. So I love stuff like that. It's like I love stuff like Fox Soul, because stuff like that spreads. Last thing I'm going to say is this. There's a tweet. I respect everything Cube is doing before, but the fact that he said he's got Dr. Clark Anderson is here, Ice Cube has officially become probably the most qualified person is actively talking about this. Because just by having him in his ear means he's got the most qualified person to actually talk about systematic racism, what we actually need. And so by somebody that's been in the government, that owns businesses, that basically has seen the whole thing. And so, like I said, check out that Fox Soul thing, man, because that shit is a comedy show, man. If y'all need some content for this week, just do a play-by-play for that shit. That shit's going to be beautiful. It's that bad. Because here's the one thing I'm going to give y'all a snippet. When you look at, first of all, Lisa Ray looks like a clown. Like, seriously, she looks like Halloween early with the wig she got on. But that's not even the biggest thing. The biggest thing is, by the way, to give sisters a lot of credit too, it's like 3,000 comments under that video, and I've scrolled down a lot of them, and most of the black women are all on point. Most of them agree with Q. I'll give them that. As far as there's probably a lot of conservative black women in there, but Vivica Fox looks like she wants to jump off the chair and smack somebody, man. Like you know how black women get when they doing it's all they can do to not go waiting to exhale on somebody, where they start rocking back and forth real quick. Like somebody literally got a gun in their head and say, do something. Otherwise, they would really be setting it off. That's Vivica Fox. She's literally not talking, but she's rocking back and forth like the whole fucking time. Like something Cube is saying is like really disrespectful. Also, another thing is Cube had to keep the no Vaseline Cube in a couple of times. There was a couple of times when he was about to start setting it off, and he pulled himself back because they were all ganging up on him, man. Like it was like 5-on-1, and they really were ganging up on his ass. So anyway, I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, Bernard.
Yeah, what up? What up? Hey, thanks.
Hey, just real quick, I guess.
Ed, appreciate you coming up, Ed. Real quick for Azrael 6394. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that. Says it's a brand new day, brothers. The tides have turned. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate that. Fantastic. You was about to say something real quick.
Yeah, apparently that dude married her. So yeah, that dude did marry her. The same dude she brought on ESPN, and he getting all her money. Probably fucking hoes on the side too, but she is married.
Wait. You talk about that dude from His and Hers?
Yeah.
Hey man, I ain't mad at him, but everybody there that just shows she really didn't have no. I mean, I ain't hating on the dude, but a lot of dude, you know, people used to clown him, man, because they used to act like he was suspect or something. The way he would act, because he would act so submissive.
No, not the co-host, not the co-host. The dude, she actually brought the dude. She like guest appearance brought him on. Is that pretty much forced the dude to marry her too? That's what people don't understand. They were allegedly engaged. Well, they were engaged, and she brought him on the set, and then like that put the pressure on the nigga to fucking marry her, but at the same time, it's a win-win for him because he's not like, you know what I mean? He's not known like that. So, I mean, he getting all her money, like you said, and probably.
Yeah, you're right. That's another thing. And you got a lot of brothers out here in the game where they see her as a prime target for some stuff like that on some Sherry Shepherd stuff. So a lot of these chicks are stupid, man. If them dudes don't ever get to the point where they making more money than you, then pretty much if you making $1 million or a couple $1 million, or you worth a couple $1 million, and you dealing with a dude that typically, even if he makes $150,000 or $200,000, he's in the driver's seat because he can just bounce. I don't know why people don't understand that. Like, and most people are not making $1 million. So you could be a dude that's on anyway. Y'all know. I don't need to tell y'all what y'all
I think this is the perfect.
Can you guys hear me?
This is the perfect. Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you, Meech. Yeah, go ahead, Archer.
Go ahead, Archer. You got it. I'm gonna make this quick point, but this is the perfect segue into the point I'm trying to make. I just realized, and you've been seeing it a lot this year. This has been a crazy year. I mean, black women, as far as their loyalty is concerned, first of all, they're only loyal to themselves. But their loyalty to us is completely conditional. You see that with Jamil Price. You're now seeing that with Jamele Hill. You're seeing it over and over again, where they have conditions on their loyalty to black men. Every time you see one of these women, when you see them on Fox
Archer,
5,
I don't mean to cut you off, but the manosphere has been around for about 10 years, and the manosphere has not figured out what it takes to make a black woman loyal yet. So I just want to put that out there. You say it's conditional, like it can be lost. Most black men don't even know how to gain it. Even ones that are fucking black women don't know how to gain it. I just wanted to add that in there, but go ahead.
Well, I mean, the only way to gain it is to actually be on their program 24/7, and even then, since they don't lay down any foundation of what they expect from you, you never really have it, because it's really subject to their emotions on that day, which means they're not really loyal. They're just loyal to how they feel on that particular day about black men, and a lot of what they feel about us is subject to the way the media portrays us. So their loyalty is very suspect in general. So when you get a black man talking about the black community, and you hear black women say, well, there's nothing about the black women in that community, that tells you all you need to know. They see themselves as a completely separate group from us. They see themselves as their only
that's a great point.
Their only priority is to themselves. And they believe as long as they do for themselves, the community is good. They're not even loyal to their own goddamn kids. They're the most selfish group of women on the planet, and they're the most delusional group of women, and the most short-sighted group of women on the planet. They don't understand.
And they really believe they had them with that shit too, with that ain't nothing for black women thing. Cause
he responded to that great. Like, what do you mean ain't nothing for black women? I said black people. You can roll that clip over and over and over again, and that would tell you all you need to hear. All you need to know is right in that 5-10 second clip. Is what do you mean there's nothing for black people? This is for black women. It says black people right there. Right there. Black people. But if it doesn't have black women, because they see themselves as the community. They're the only group of women that sees themselves as a community separate from their man. Now, Cerillion Gray used to say this. They're the only group of women on top of that who can move autonomously from their men. They don't need their man's permission to move any type of way. Name another group of women that can do that. There's not one on the planet.
Yeah. It's important to understand shit like that when people start to say that I'm talking about the gynocracy too much. Like, the reason why I talk about it so much is because most dudes don't understand it. I'm not even talking about in this space, but as you get new people in this space, there's like certain words that they need to fucking understand. And by the way, on Fantastic, when he was saying, you know, he don't feel like black men should, you know, do anything physical to black women. I mean, I agree with that, but the way we got to start developing our own code words. Like, one code word is black men got to start handling their business. That means that we need to be ruthless when it comes to basically punishing anybody, whether it's even our own women. Like, for instance, with Jamele Hill, one of the things that I would have loved the NBA players to do is when Jamele Hill started talking, because remember, people forget, she was one of the ones that shared that article that you know, moist nigga wrote, talking about black men are the white men of the black community, People forget that shit. I remember that shit. Her ass should have been fired. By black men should have said, like, NBA players should have said, you know what, I'm not comfortable talking to her anymore. So I think I'm gonna be just doing interviews on Fox Sports unless y'all replace her. And then just like that, they probably would have moved her out and then got rid of her. And it should have been known. See, they waited for ESPN to get tired of her. It should have been us to get her removed, because the thing about it is that's a privilege. That's a privileged job. And there easily can be another black female. Shoot, put a younger black female in that job. What do we need these old chicks? It ain't like Jamele Hill, really. She can talk sports, but man, she can't talk sports so much that she can't be easily replaced. And that's the type
it's going to take the older black men to do that. Well, you got black men like LeBron James, because LeBron James is very much suspect with some of the stuff he says. When he's out of the league and you get some of these younger Gen X black men to come in, because those are the ones that's really waking up right now. Those are the ones that's really waking up. When you get them to come in and them put their foot down, that's when we will have more influence over who gets to represent us and who gets to talk to us in the media.
All right, so I got 3 things I'm gonna jump off here real quick.
You got next, Meech, but real quick. Indigenous TV, thank you for the $2 super chat. He says black women have unquestioned loyalty to themselves. and white women. Thank you for that real quick. And I know it's some people that just dropped in here, so I do want to put this up on the Jumbotron real quick. For those that don't know, while we even talking about Jamele Hill, she made this statement right here. Hopefully y'all can see that. Let me double check real quick. Right, yeah, y'all can see it. She made this statement right here that says, I have increasingly found that black men just want better access to patriarchy. They don't actually want it dismantled. And when me and Complex was talking, I ended up saying that's really the equivalent. If a black man was to say, I have increasingly found that many black women just want better access to feminism, they don't actually want to dismantle it. That's how stupid of a statement that is that she made, and how much she think black men are supposed to be just following their lead and doing what black women want to do and following the black female agenda, to the point to where black men should be wanting to dismantle something that puts them in a position of leadership in favor of women being in a position of leadership. So that's what prompted this discussion today. I just wanted to update those who made it in late that's where we at. That's what we're talking about. That's where this all started. So go ahead, Mr. Meach, you got the floor. You
All
got
right,
the
so
mic.
okay,
Fire away.
so the first thing is I want people to understand that vote for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris will be one of the biggest moves a black man can make currently towards keeping the gunocracy around. You got old white men that came out with a crime bill that was primarily locking up black men. You have a black woman that's out here also locking up black men. Didn't say any damn thing about him out front talking to black men about what makes them black, right? Coming at our egos again, right? Who's also herself married to a white man, and has, neither one of them are apologetic at all about what they've done. And Kamala Harris came out and said, "Oh, I am the what does she call the law enforcement candidate?" Right? This is where she goes. That's first, right? So we are completely voting against our interests if we vote for them. Okay. The second thing is, remember that Jamele Hill, when she came out with that black men are the white people of black people, she did that like a week or two after black men were going to bat for her about this job issue because they were talking about letting it go. And a whole lot of black men were going to bat for Jamele Hill.
I forgot about that shit.
That's one of the reasons why black men went at her so fucking hard for forwarding that damn post. Because we had just fucking went to bat for her, and she stabbed us in the fucking back. You get what I mean? And then the third thing here is you got to understand what one of the things Jamele Hill suffers from, which is a lot of this shit comes down to women being able to get. Jamele wants black men on a level that she cannot fucking get them. She lost all this damn weight, but she still looks like she looks, right? She can't file down her soul. She has a fucking
can't fix that face.
She looks like she looks. You can't change that. So, but she believes that the black men who aren't choosing her are problematic, and that's the reason she can't get with it. See, we're not supposed to have a choice. We're supposed to just get in line. And when they don't choose her, they're exercising a choice, which also doubles right back to Ice Cube and him speaking to people, not even Trump, but speaking to people from his camp, is that you're out of line and you're not supposed to be making these choices. You're making these choices displays to us that not only that you have options, not only that you are aware of those options, but that you're actually willing to exercise those options. And we didn't give you the option of doing that. Any option we didn't give you was outlined. Do you get what I mean? So if you're dealing with all three of these things when it comes to, I'm not a Trump supporter. I never liked him. I don't like Trump now. I do believe Trump is a racist, and I do believe he is a fucking terrible fucking politician. I completely believe that. I believe he is a damn narcissist. I believe he's pompous. I 100% believe that. But what I will not do is vote. I do not want Kamala and Biden in the White House.
I'm in the same boat.
All right, Mr. Meach, real quick. It sounds like somebody's like jiggling the Ethernet cable while you're talking. Like it's like something. It's like you like we can make out what you were saying, but if you could do something to make your sound a little better.
Oh well, I'm on the cell phone right now. That's the best I got. But I just wanted to throw that at y'all guys and then jump off of here because I'm on the cell phone. I'm not gonna get any better. But thanks for having me up, man. I'll check y'all. I'll fall back and listen to what you're saying.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, man. Yeah, good stuff, though. Good stuff.
Absolutely, and there's a lot of dudes like that, man. Like I'm in the same boat as Meech. Everybody is not binary. Everybody is not like K-Pit. Look, and if y'all like Trump, y'all like Trump. It is what it is. I'm not jumping on y'all for that, but at the same time, I get tired of the if you don't like Trump, that means you must like Biden bullshit, or if you like Biden, that must mean you like Trump. Like at the end of the day, I'm really focused more on state politics and the Congress because I don't like nobody. I'm probably not voting for either one on the presidency. I'm either voting for writing in a candidate, or I'm probably voting. I'll probably fill it in for Kanye West because at least Kanye West was talking about Dr. Claude Anderson as well. And my state it don't matter because I'm in North Carolina anyway. So you know, people have
Hey,
that
real
binary.
quick, Ed, real
Yeah.
quick. I got to step away for a minute, so go ahead and continue talking, and
All right, and
call
I'll
you
make
back in
sure
a
I
couple
share the
minutes.
mic.
Share the
Yeah.
mic.
So yeah, but like I said, man, as far as Jamele Hill, like the shit is goofy on the pimp side of the game because what she did us a favor, and that's why we have to cover things like this. Y'all should be thanking her because her asking about that is gonna have dudes be like, are we in a patriarchy? See, this stuff makes it hard for the black men that are 50-50 type of dudes. And when I say 50-50, I'm not talking about dudes that believe in 50-50 as far as a date. I'm talking about dudes that believe in black men need to just bite the bullet and just swallow whatever we need to swallow and just basically low-key submit to black women. That's what they're advocating for. The dudes that say we should just drop this division and come together. What you're starting to understand is these women are on code with what they want, and you're not a part of the code. There is no partnership. And so when people try to say that we're just bashing women or we get upset about women, this stuff is hitting it where it needs to be hit to let you know that's not the case. These women do think like this. It's not just us saying that. And to be fair, you have a lot of women in different spots. Black women, they get it for different reasons that are starting to kind of to throw some of these women under the bus because they're being too obvious about it. So it's making it harder for them to come back, which is exactly what we want. What black men should say, what is a goal for the gender war? It should be a goal to activate a civil war amongst the women. Because if anybody wants to save the black community, that's only going to happen if you got black men and black women basically doing the reverse of what black women and like the traitors black men did to us, which is basically putting those chicks in a box or kicking them out. And basically those women saying that they surrendered. That's the only path to victory. And when I say victory, I mean having a community. Because you have dudes now that basically want to bounce out because it's making it more obvious. So anyway, I'll
Right.
pass the mic.
Can I say
Archer,
something?
Chaos Reign. Yeah, no, absolutely. Jump in.
Yeah, man. You know what? That's what I led the conversation with, and you know what? I want to speak as neutrally as I can because I don't like either side of it. But I was just thinking, did Q really play into the Democrats' hands? Because it sounds like what he did, and I don't think he did this intentionally, was to fan the flames of this gender war that we have within black society. And there and it's very, I mean, I'm just like looking at it, I'm like, wow, what you just said was just very interesting, where you say like all black women are on one code, but like when it comes to black men, it
I
doesn't
never
seem
use
like
the term all black women. I use the term black women. That means that I only
black
need
women.
50%,
Right,
51% to get to most. FYI. But go
right,
ahead.
right. But what I'm saying is just like, but if you look on the other side when it comes to black men, it doesn't even look like, I mean, I guess when you cause chaos and confusion, it doesn't even look nowhere near that on our side. Just one guy the other day, I mean, just a couple minutes ago, he's praised Ice Cube on one end, and then he dissed LeBron James on the other end. It's just like like our side is so divided. It's like you got the thugs on one side, and it's just so. I mean,
Wait, hold
I
on,
think
real
there's
quick,
Hold
hold
on.
on,
Yeah,
time
because
out, time out, time
I
out,
want to
time
jump
out,
in on
hold on.
this. But go
Can I
ahead.
time
can I
out,
say
time
something?
out.
Can I
Hold on,
finish?
real quick. Wait,
Can
no,
I
I
finish?
got no that praise Ice Cube, but this LeBron. I want to get a quick good question out there. Hold on, wait, mute up real quick, and then
Yeah.
mute up. Um, are you saying that he's wrong for praising Ice Cube on one end and then dissing or criticizing LeBron on the other end. Are you saying that he's wrong for that?
No, I was just looking at what I'm saying. What he said was like, if you look at black women, they're on on code. What I'm talking about is looking at our side as black men. It just seems like I'm not talking about like who's right or wrong. It just seems like we are so easy to fight with among each other. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
it's just like
when you talk about but when you talk about black women being on a code, and then you look at black men, hold on, mute up real quick. LeBron James is on black women's code. Yeah, black women are all on the same code, and more than half of our men are on their code. You see, that's why there's a division where we're going to end up fighting amongst each other.
I really want to be diplomatic about how I go. You know,
oh shit! You're Borging, Ed. You're Borging, Ed. Ed, you're Borging bad. I'm gonna go back to Triple Black. Let him finish his point.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Oh, that was good right there. That last, can you hear me?
Like what I said is like,
okay.
So we had this conversation.
What?
Go ahead.
Well, the reason I just want to throw in this rebuttal real quick. First things first, let's stop acting like when Obama was in the White House that the Tea Party wasn't absolutely going to war with each other, even in the Tea Party, let alone the Party. So, I registered that like a child, mommy and fight, and they no, I'm not calling you a child, but I'm saying straight up, they think like a child, so they can't really comprehend why mommy and daddy is fighting. They can just absorb the emotionalism of it, and it isn't until they become an adult in which they can get context later to what actually happened, because at that point they are an adult, so they can understand adult things. So when people say division, first thing I said was I made it a point to say that there were a lot of black women that were on Cube's side in that chat, as well as a lot of black women that are starting to call us out because the shit is just being too overt and goofy. And even some black women that want the shit to be like it is, it's so much harder to do that when you got women like Jamele Hill saying obvious stupid shit like that. So even every black woman's not on the same page, but majority, they are on the same page. And I always break it down to about 80% to 20%. And then the 20% is like really quiet, because those women will go after those 20% a lot harder than they actually will go after black men. Also, going back to the division piece as far as where black men are, no, most black men are good. Most black men are on the gynocracy. They're on that plantation. They're just ignorant. They don't, because it's never been made obvious to them, which it shouldn't have to be, by the way, but it's never been made obvious to them that the women are on their own shit. This is why Ice Cube said what he said about, what do you mean for black women? This is for black people, because black men vote on voting for black people. They don't vote on voting for black men. The problem is our women have been voting for themselves for decades, while black men have never caught up to the fact that that's what's happening. So the question is, do you care about being right or wrong, or do you just care about shit being united, but just to be united? So I'm going to ask you this direct question and I'm done. Would you rather the black community be a competitive community under a patriarchy, or would you rather everybody feel good and just pretend like everything's okay being the way that it is?
Are you talking directly to me?
Yes, I am. It wasn't rhetorical.
Yeah. No, I mean, I don't even know how to answer that. I guess the comment I was trying to make, and I even put a disclaimer on it. I wasn't going on either side.
Yeah, you said you were trying to be you were trying to be neutral, which is that undivision. Let me ask you this question to make it a lot more simpler. Do you see anything wrong with the black community today?
Yeah, there's a lot
culturally. I'm talking about amongst how we deal with each other specifically.
Oh, absolutely.
What do you see is wrong?
Absolutely, because it anybody, like, somebody can come out and so easily cause division, like so easily. Like it doesn't matter who it is, Like, we can just throw, they can just throw their thing in the pot, and then all of a sudden, all kinds of chaos happens. Like, you got two people on both.
Why do you think that? Why do you think that is? As far as the division, why do you think it's so easy to cause division?
I don't. To tell you the truth, I don't know. That's why I'm on this panel trying to figure it out, because like Cube caused a whole bunch of division or confusion.
You're saying Cube. You're saying Cube
caused
caused.
the division?
Okay, time out. We're gonna let that slide for a second.
But
I got a question. I got a quick question because it's getting to a point. It's getting to a point. It's getting to. Okay, go ahead. I'm gonna let you get it out. My bad. Go ahead, get it all out.
All right. I didn't say it was intentional. I just said with his rhetoric, the end result was a lot of confusion, a lot of a lot of fighting, and then you have somebody on the other side that makes a statement, and the same thing happens. What I'm saying is like it doesn't, like we're inherently broken, because anything like that is, I guess, not uniform or whatever, just causes all kinds of chaos. I'm not saying one person's right or one person's wrong. It just seems like there's always chaos. And one of the things is in order to catch fish, you have to stir the water. And I don't know if the powers that be are doing this intentionally, because they know how.
Well, I mean, a slave rebellion caused chaos, and to a white supremacist, that's a bad thing. Let me make it easier. The Tea Party caused chaos amongst the Republicans, and to establish Republicans, the same stuff you're saying is what they used to say to the Tea Party. Because the established Republican, then you have people. This is one thing I want you to understand. You have people, whether they're black men and black women, that they are for keeping the status quo. And usually the language that's going to be used for those types of people are basically what you're using with the chaos, the decision, because you don't even see the value in where people can get to at the end of the day. You're kind of talking, so we just need to keep stuff as it is. And that's why I asked you the question, do you even see anything wrong? And then when I ask you, you don't know. Now, you asked a very big point that you said.
I told you exactly. There's a lot of stuff wrong. I never said there wasn't anything wrong. I said there's a lot of stuff wrong.
Well, then I asked you specifics, and you said and that's fine. I respect you being honest about that, because most people don't.
What specifically is we can't never get along. We can't never get on one train. We can't never.
Do you know why? Have you ever thought? Okay, so hold on, and I'm gonna give you. Hold on, and I'm not trying to beat you up. I'm gonna get to the point, because I respect the fact that you said that and put that out there, because a lot of people are gonna pretend that they know when they don't. So let me give you the simple answer. Just like anything that you belong to, whether it's religion or even atheism, the reason why it's so hard to shake you from that, even if it was on some BS, I'm not gonna ask you religion you're in because it's not relevant. It's because you have a foundation in what you believe and why. Would you agree to that, regardless of what you believe?
You know what's funny? You just said that you're not trying to beat me up. Exactly the rhetoric that you're using. You're trying to browbeat me.
Now you're saying I'm using rhetoric. Trust me, this is me being nice. This is me being nice. Bernard can tell you this is not me trying to beat you up. And to get to answer your question, is the reason why black men and black women don't get along is because there is no social contract amongst black men and black women like there is other groups. And pretty much what we've been, what we hold on, what we've been,
we don't have
what we no, that's actually not true, because that actually insinuates that black men and black women equally have an issue with each other. Black men do not have an issue with black women. It doesn't. You cannot look at all of these black females that have gotten into political office, city by city, mayoralships, and tell me there's just black women voting and black men are not blindly voting for them. Black men, black men, hold on. Black men do not, no, hell no. It's not even close. Black men do not have the same issues with black women that black women have with black men. No, I didn't say that. I said it's like an 80-20%. It's an 80-20 differential in the issues that black men have with black women versus black women have with black men. Black men actually, and I'll give you a perfect example. Black men will actually submit to a black woman's leadership a lot easier than a black woman will submit to a black man's leadership. Do you believe that? Yes or no?
Hell no.
You don't believe that. So you do not believe that black men do not go along with what black women say as an aggregate group in the black community.
Wait, hold on, real
Oh,
quick.
you say
Hold on. Wait. Stop. Hold on, real quick. That Jamele Hill post sort of proves what Ed is saying. How she just by default is expecting black men to just go along with whatever black woman's agenda is. She's expecting us to go along with it, and she's starting to see that some men aren't going along with it, and that's like she's having a whole
only a few.
She's having a whole paradigm shift right now. She's losing her shit. Like, wait a minute, they're not submitting and following us. Like that's literally what.
Bernard, hold on. This is from the woman that shared that the black men were the white men of the black community. But go ahead.
Without a patriarchy.
I want to get to SKC. Hold on. I want to get to SKC, but I do want to just quickly comment to where when Triple Black said that Ice Cube, but you got some clicking in the background. What is that?
These are words like rhetoric. What rhetoric?
Yeah. He said Ice Cube's rhetoric caused so much
division.
Caused so much division. If somebody says something that is right,
so did Malcolm X.
Hold on. If somebody says something that's right and it causes division, then the problem isn't with the person who said it. The problem is with the people who heard it and their response to it. So that's why it's begging the question: do you think Ice Cube is in the wrong or the right? Because you're speaking.
Bernard, the police have to stop killing us. Look at the rhetoric you're causing. Stop talking about the police killing black men. Shut up with your rhetoric. Go ahead, man. My bad.
That's what it's on. Hold on, Oswald 123. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that. We're gonna hold on real quick. I got another one down here at the bottom. It's that clicking Triple Black. You got some clicking going on. You gotta figure that out.
Is that me?
I didn't mean to click.
Yeah.
It is me?
Yeah. That is you. You got some clicking. Are you clicking something or is that just your audio devices?
Maybe my audio device. I'll get off, but I just
try muting up for a second.
Yeah, just make sure you mute before you talk. That's all. Before you talk. That's it.
Yeah, okay. All right. Real quick. Oswald, thank you for that. Black people, Ray Clemens says, black people rhetoric causes the division. Yeah. Him saying.
Wait. It's not black people. Yeah,
no. He was being sarcastic to.
I know, but you got to add the women in there. When you say black people, that's not talking about the women.
No, what he means is that
I know I'm jumping.
When okay, gotcha. You
30 fucking decades of black women saying black men ain't shit, and you don't hear this language. Right. Like, I'm paying attention to the words being used, man. That's all. It's not necessarily like I get what you're saying because I think he represents a lot of the black men that we need to actually engage with because you have a lot of black men that fundamentally don't know what's wrong, and then when we say what's wrong, it's kind of like, well, it can't be that shit. It can't be that because it sounds like we're not even the women. It's like because it sounds like we're killing the hope. So we go back to this. Well, it's black men doing shit and black women doing shit. No, black men. I've seen black men treat a fat 350-pound female with a lot more respect than what Ice Cube has gotten treated on Fox Soul. Go watch that Fox Soul video and see how them women gang up on him, even though they're not on his level, even in creating a family. Remember, Ice Cube has a family with a black woman and black children that are normal as hell.
Well, Edward, let me jump in here right quick because
we gotta get to SKC. We gotta get to SKC.
Yeah, my bad. Yeah.
Ray Clemens, thank you for that super chat once again. And Oswald, appreciate that. Appreciate everybody who's supporting the stream. Chickagy, thank you for posting the links and all of that stuff. Appreciate you. All right, let's go. Let's roll. Hit the like button, people. Go ahead, SKC. You got it.
Nah, I just wanted to add a few things to the evidence. How what's her name? Jamele Hill, she made that comment about, I can't believe that black men aren't on this side of breaking down the patriarchy.
I can read it again real quick. I just can't stop reading this shit because it's a mind fuck.
It's like what black men did you talk to before you said that stupid shit?
It's coming, Ed. It's
says,
coming.
I have increasingly found that many black men just want better access to patriarchy. They don't actually want to dismantle it.
Now think about that. Now think about that, and then think about the Medium article that came out against the Black Manosphere, where the title of it was "The Black Manosphere is not an ally to Black feminists."
Uh-oh.
Hell no!
I gotta do
what I mean? As if the dudes here are supposed to be allies to doggone Black feminists.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like it's crazy some of the things that come out of these people's mouths, and it shows you, like Ed was saying just a second ago, that they haven't even talked to Black men. They haven't even given them an opportunity to express themselves as to what they actually want. They just assume, oh, you should just want what I want, period. And when you add that in with what happened on Roland Martin's show this morning, I don't know if any of you all saw it, but Simone Sanders was on.
Oh, Jesus.
And
that's a Black Lives Matter chick.
And this is the same chick that stated to Uncle Luke, why are Black men even talking about politics anyway? Y'all just need to shut up. Now hold on. Roland Martin asked her this question. He says, hey, back in, I think it was like 2008, there was this growing divide between Black men and Black women voting and so forth. And it has increasingly, that divide has increased all the way up to today. What are you all doing to, I guess, cater to those group of Black men to shut off that spigot?
Roland asked that question this morning.
Yes, he asked that question. I got the clip.
Okay.
She said absolutely nothing. She didn't even say the term Black men at all. She just skated over the entire question as if Black men didn't even exist.
And Roland Martin is probably like, damn, bitch, like you get paid way too much to say some stupid shit like that, even if you believe it. Because Roland don't give a fuck about Black men either, but Roland does care about getting the damn elected to get a job. And what was the look on Roland's face when she said that? I'm curious. I'm gonna see the clip.
After she went on her little diatribe of all the stuff that they're doing in the community that had nothing to do with Black men, he just glazed to the whole next question like, oh, that was a perfect answer.
Damn.
The thing, our goal is to get it to the point where ignoring it isn't going to fix the issue, and our goal is to accelerate that. It's like a wound that has to accelerate in what's happening if they don't address it, and they're not going to address it. The only reason why we want them to even try to address it is that's actually where the policy stuff comes in. And so the goal is really to get, and look, I say this as a Democrat, the goal is to get Republicans to the point where they realize, okay, we can actually keep the Dems out of the White House with this shit. Because at that point, that's going to make them incentivized to actually do something specific. That's why they took Ice Cube's call. And see, this is why whatchamacallit was using that language when he was talking about chaos and rhetoric, because he sees that as a problem, and that's why he was coming and talking about, oh well, I have an opinion. I mean, you can have an opinion. Like, this is us debating. This isn't me trying to call you out your name and beat you up. I'm just trying to put the point in: is you cool with shit as it is? And Black men are on some. Go ahead. My bad.
Ed, do you remember the article that came out in the Root 2016? Damon Young. Where he,
Black men were the white men of the Black community.
No, not that one. Not that one.
Okay,
the one that he wrote concerning the way that Black men voted for Trump. And I quote, he stated, why did Black men vote that 13% clip for Trump? Because they were dumbass niggas.
Of course.
Nobody said nothing about it.
And that's what they're going to keep saying, because that's the only look, man. The reason why they're saying that is because they have nothing else to say. So all they're going to do is turn the shaming language up and up and up until you get to the other side, in which they can't, like, that shit doesn't matter anymore. Because it's going to get to a point where they're going to start shaming black men so hard, where black men are just going to stop talking, number one, and just do what the fuck they do. And number two, what it is they're going to start to realize that the more black men keep doing what they're doing and increasing numbers, the more they're realizing they have no power, in which white folks are going to be like the George Soroses of the world, is why do I give you money? Because I'm not getting the outcome.
Right. And that's what I'm saying, Ed, is I hope somebody go play by play like you said it earlier and go over that clip that Cube did with Roland Martin, because when he was talking with that BLM chick, he asked her,
"Oh, you mean
okay, if you have these men that are I would say, disenfranchised or whatnot, what are you doing to actually to get their vote?" And they said absolutely nothing.
Yeah, and the only thing that I would, if I was telling Cube, but I said, Cube, man, because I've seen Cube almost get mad at him. And I said, you know what, Cube, I'm going to give you an easy thing, because I know you want to hit these bitches with no Vaseline, because they need to be. But this is how you smack them on television without getting in trouble. You ready? You like, all right, man, what? I'd be like, you tell them, what are you doing for black boys? Hammer them hard with that question. These chicks, exactly. These chicks got start quoting stats on how bad black boys are doing across the board, what it is, how the black boys, the older they get, the more in danger they get. Because these women got sons. So number one, you're gonna peel off a lot more black women, and it's gonna not come off as you gender warring. And on the other hand, if they try to come at you about black girls, you talk about black girls rock, you talk about all the smorgasbord things that black girls have. And then you talk about what about black boys, but black boys are expected to be black men and have black families. You hammer them to death with it, and they will not be able to do shit about it.
Let me make this quick point right quick.
Well, Ed, can you just throw that underneath? Those are just consequences of the matriarchy.
Casualties of war.
Well, absolutely, but you still got to play the game where when you're talking on mainstream media, how they throw in anything that sticks to the wall that's bad, as that's part of the patriarchy. Well, all the stuff that's bad in the black community, that's just part of the matriarchy. But see, the problem with that is you got too many dudes that they can't even conceptualize that. That's why they start saying division. Versus if you hammer them about the boys, that's something that a lot of these dudes can actually take a second look and say, well, is that true? And it doesn't become about division. You'll peel off a lot more doing that. And that's something that's acceptable to say in mainstream. Because it's not like,
right quick.
Yeah.
Go ahead and jump in, Archer. We're about to get off of here real soon.
Okay, because what I said,
I said he got a link in there to when he covered some shit on Jemele Hill. If y'all want to go get more of a fig, if y'all haven't got y'all feel of shitting on Jemele Hill, y'all can go ahead and check that one out. But go ahead, Archer. Then we about to get up out of here real soon.
What I said earlier about the differences in generations of black men and how much the programming is so ingrained into older black men, why you can't teach an old dog new tricks. One thing that the guy who was up here earlier immediately said, you're sowing division. It's divisive. It's divisive because he felt guilty. Yes, men like LeBron James, men like LeBron James are a type of men who jump on these women talking points for whatever reason, whether it's for his image or whatever it is, but they jump on these women talking points. And what I'm seeing is that the older men do it more than these younger cats are doing. These new guys, these new Gen Xers, they are not finna do this. They're not finna jump on that rhetoric, that programming pro-black, black women is the most unprotected women on the planet type BS. They're not gonna do it. And when you say that, and the men who gets upset that you point that out by the difference of generations between black men are mainly the ones who are primarily guilty of it. I was on I wasn't on it, but I was listening to Kevin Samuel's show last night, and you wouldn't believe how many women called into his show and said every negative stereotype about black women from the 1970s, still keeping it alive today, like black men are bad fathers, the down low, the broke jobs. Kevin Samuels went on he basically pointed out all these women that the amount of black men that's in the middle class, the amount of black men who participate in their children's lives, and the gay statistics in America. None of those stereotypes about black men from the 70s are true today, but they're still kept alive 100% by our women, as if they are still today's norm, like they were the norm in the 70s and 80s. So we talk about divisive rhetoric, but nobody said anything about divisive rhetoric when it's geared at men, because men are supposed to be, we're supposed to be this target, this freaking target that can just take all the bullets and not bleed. And when we gotta be divisive, otherwise anything we see as conforming is harmful to men. Anything in black community that is conforming is harmful to men. Anything that is seen as divisive is actually helpful to the community at this point, because the community has been so degraded to the point where it's just dysfunctional on all levels, from the way we engage politics to the way we engage relationships to the way we engage men and women dynamics, and the way we even view a patriarchy is even dysfunctional. Jamele Hill showed the idea of a patriarchy being this evil thing, the ultimate villain, is dysfunctional. At this point, when most black men are operating, most black men operate as an anti-villain. They take the slings and arrows as they're trying to help, but still have
and the thing is, if people don't know, then find out. Like, my thing is, if you don't know, that means you can't even tell. Like that, like, and look, I'm really not trying to be the dude up, but he said he has a right to have an opinion. You do.
Hold on, Ed. Go ahead. I mean, you listen. This dude said yesterday that if your woman ain't causing you problems or nagging at you, or basically if she ain't being a combative bitch, then she don't really love you. Like he full blown.
Okay, but there's a lie. But
the dude that just dropped. That shit made Ed bored out. Ed computer blew a fuse when he heard that. You bored out.
Ed bored out a funny time.
Look, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can.
Terrell, I'm about to get up out of here.
Pay attention to the language that's being used, because it's important to recognize this stuff. I mean, at the end of the day, he said he does not know, but he wants an opinion. So by definition, his opinion is ignorant based on him not knowing. And that's the problem. It's like, dude, black men and black women don't have a social contract, so they have nothing to default back to. And so who's the ones? And see, he actually sees black. This is the irony. He actually sees black men as the agents of chaos, versus the way I see it is black women and LGBT. They have to keep the black community unstable in order to be able to do what they do. So black women are the main ones that are agents of chaos. This is why they can't go into other groups and have the same rights and privileges.
Out here.
So you got to pay attention to the words people use. And it's like, dude, so, I'm trying to help, because I was legit trying to help him understand what the fuck he was saying and why it was off the goddamn chains, because he didn't understand it. And these are a lot of dudes that blindly vote for the Democratic Party. They won't say the shit Biden did to lock niggas up, because they don't know no better. That's a sheep. That's a sheep. Like, that's what BGS would call it. And by the way, say what you want to about Kevin. People always get mad about Kevin. I don't give a fuck about how people feel about Kevin. The reality is, when shit like this comes out, the fact that you have a show like that, and you have shows that are going in that direction, that can call that out, like, and not only call it out, but actually show these women actively calling in and saying that, under the pretense of actually trying to get black men and black women together in marriage. Now you can't make the argument that black men just want to be alone, because that show is not based on black men being alone. So that makes it a lot harder for dudes like him to say, well, black men just want to do this and do that. No, because I can point to you a show in which the pretext of it is for black people to get married, but this is what the women are on, that are choosing to call in zero incentive. So the excuses are starting to be like just dead at this point. It's too many angles that we got covered. And that's why I keep telling dudes, stop like getting so mad about him And because at the end of the day, he ain't going nowhere no matter how mad you get. And just deal with the positives of it and just don't support it.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
Yeah. Absolutely. But I got to get out of here. Triple Black or No Cupcake Zone, what you changed your name to. If I put words in your mouth, I apologize for that. You said I put words in your mouth, but I think I almost quoted you directly based on what you said yesterday. Terrell Boxley, I would have let you up, but I'm about to get the hell up out of here. But thanks for the cash app. I appreciate it.
Well, I mean, I would tell Triple Black to keep coming on the panels, because the more you, I mean, I'm not saying that to be rhetorical. I'm saying a lot of black men have your opinion. They have your opinion, and it needs to be heard.
Yep, absolutely. But I gotta.
One thing I want to say about Jemele Hill, since you've been talking about her all day today. Since she doesn't have no kids, and I'm not sure she was ever married, my best bet, sir, is go buy a dog.
Yeah, she's a spinster. I mean, she's gonna be a spinster.
And then,
yeah, I mean, and then another thing too is, keep in mind when this is being said, you've got that Cooper chick that is 350 pounds. You got Jamele Hill. It's not just one person. It's not like we're just heart jumping on one person. This is a pattern now as you get closer and closer. Man, don't let Donald Trump win. Because Donald Trump win, you already know these chicks gonna tell you how they really feel about you.
Oh, yeah,
we all gonna be Snoop Dogg.
Oh yeah, they gonna lose their shit. Yeah.
They gonna bring us to the social media red table and think they gonna talk shit to us. And see, this is where people like Jason Black and a lot of the pro-blacks, this is where we get on the same page, because he ain't even dealing with that anyway, either from a political side. So this is the things that make the manosphere great. So I got you, man. I know you're trying to get up out of here.
All right, we out of here, fellas. We out of here. Peace.